Duck, the Lil Durk. You got these factions that are just shooting. None of the Folio, Young and Ace. Why? I mean, grow up. I hate to say it that plainly, but grow the fuck up. I got turned rappers to killers and bosses. I mean, I think this is going to be, you might think it's art, but it certainly is self-snitching, if you ask me. Basically an agreement between two or more people and an act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Purchasing of the airline tickets is an act in furtherance of the conspiracy, taking a substantial step. Getting people out there and then having them do what they did. You're just as guilty of that crime as though you pulled the trigger yourself. Killers in the trenches, the Grammys ain't gonna change me for nothing. But you know what will? Federal prison for the rest of my natural life. You're gonna get life without parole. How dumb do you have to be? I mean, why don't you go get a gift card or just get some cash and give them some? I mean, I'm trying to tell you how to commit a conspiracy case, but how dumb you have to be. And
Will Slaver sees the criminal lawyer. Will Slaver sees the criminal lawyer. Will Slaver sees the criminal lawyer. And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Today we are joined by our content genius that you know is Michael Rivers. Hey, hello, Michael.
Hello, everybody.
So we're reacting today to Lil Durk. Lil Durk's been indicted on a higher plot. Breaking news. It's not so breaking. It happened last week. But there's some interesting tidbits about this, so we'll get into that. But before we get to that, let's honor our sponsor, Reforms.com. Because guess what Lil Durk's doing now? He's going to need a power of attorney because he ain't going to get out. He's in custody in federal court in LA. So if you're in custody and you need a power of attorney, tell your people to go to Reforms.com and go get a power of attorney, because it's easier to do that than have your lawyer be bothered with it, because your lawyer is just going to charge you for it, and that's expensive. So Reforms.com, you can get a power of attorney, bill of sale, a rental agreement, whatever kind of legal form you need, go to Reforms.com. Effective way to stay out of court, or when you get to court, because the documents don't lie. And it's also a good way to avoid the high cost of a lawyer. Alright, so, according to Forbes magazine, rapper Lil Durk is in federal custody following his arrest last week on the murder for hire charges in connection with an alleged plot to target rapper Quando Rondo. And if you remember, in 2020, I believe, Quando Rondo was in a beef with King Von. And that's when that shooting happened and 2 people died, and King Von was one of them. Now, 2 years later, there was a shooting that killed Quando Rondo's cousin. It was aimed after him, but this is a murder for hire plot. So this is Lil Durk. 5 other people have been arrested and brought to federal court. Earlier Thursday, meaning yesterday, 5 men, October 20th. Yeah, so this was just 2 days. 5 men who the prosecutors allege have ties to Lil Durk's Only the Family Rap Collective and were co-conspirators in the 2022 murder for hire plot were also arrested in Chicago and appeared at the Dirksen U.S. courthouse, and the Chicago Tribune reported. So here's what they did. They tied Dirk's credit card to the flights that these guys... That didn't happen?
No, I'm just saying how stupid that is.
So they tied Durk's credit card to the flights that these guys took to go kill Quando Rondo and whoever else was in his way. How dumb do you have to be? I mean, why don't you go get a gift card or just get some cash and give them some... I mean, I'm trying to tell you how to commit a conspiracy case, but fucking A, how dumb do you have to be?
And one thing I'd like you to add is, how long was this predictable down the pipe? You know what I mean? I mean, I think since we started covering Lil Durk, you have little insights here and there from...
And let me just tell you this. This was not unpredictable. An affidavit filed in federal court based on the testimony of FBI agent Sarah Cochran states Lil Durk had placed a bounty on Quando Rondo's life, citing unnamed witnesses and that flight tickets purchased to carry out the murder were made with credit cards linked to Lil Durk and the family, OTAF. The plot was hatched as a retaliation for the 2020 murder of Lil Durk's colleague and friend, rapper King Von. According to that, Lil Durk attempted to flee the United States. Why is that important? Well, risk of flight and danger to the public. Those are two things that you look at for bail. Think he's getting out? Fuck no. Why not? Because he tried to flee the United States prior to his arrest, according to the U.S. District Attorney's Office, and the affidavit, which states he had 3 flights booked to Italy, Switzerland, and Dubai.
All of which,
Yeah, they all have extradition treaties, but who cares? He didn't board any of the flights. Lil Durk is expected to be arraigned in Los Angeles in federal court in the coming weeks, and the court side of the state. So, you know, when you really look at these guys, first let's talk about what this case is about. Let's take a look at a WJCL News.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say shot at a Savannah rapper and a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles and
So we reacted to this about the time that this happened.
fired. A fight taken to the streets in this chaotic scene, the ending of a shooting that started in Los Angeles, California. Sheriff's deputies pulling out a man who had been shot in an SUV. Savannah rapper Quando Rondo, a passenger in that car,
Quando Rondo screaming because that's his cousin. That's
The rapper Quando Rondo,
That
a
ain't
passenger
funny.
in that car, frantic at the sight. It all started at this mobile gas station at 5:30 Friday evening.
all over one. All over one. There's nothing that could justify it. I mean, granted, it's to avenge a killing, but these beasts start over nothing, and then they just go on and on and on, and where does it end?
PD says witnesses heard multiple gunshots, then watched a couple cars zoom off. 2 people in one car shot at this black Cadillac Escalade. It's unclear if those inside shot back.
can I get some space, please?
It ended at Santa Monica Boulevard. Deputies found it peppered with bullet holes and a shattered window. One man inside, a member of Rondo's entourage, had been shot. The 23-year-old was taken to the hospital where he died. The scene left with remnants of the fight, shoes left in the street, doors.
This is stupid. I mean, guys, you're successful. You're driving an Escalade. I mean, you got money. You've got everything you need to be successful. But if the Grammys ain't gonna change you, I don't know what will.
Mind if I add a little bit?
Okay.
Alright, so obviously after this, after Vaughn, after everything, so the initial beef started between him and Youngboy, and then all of these people are tangential to Youngboy, like Quando Rondo, these Baton Rouge sort of affiliates, Lil Tim, and stuff like that. It all happened over a girl, over India, his girl. And then X post like all these events that had happened after King Von dying, all the fan bases, when are you gonna slide for Von? When are you gonna slide for Von? You know? And it's like
He don't know what the fuck he talking about.
have that compulsory instinct to just execute something like this, regardless of what consequences might come down the pipe. I think is absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, like, even with Youngboy, it's like, he's not a stranger to this. I mean, like, he had a sweetheart deal, and
It absolutely floors me. So Quando's response after this, and this is a good message actually. We didn't get into the music industry to make it just to stay caught up in this street shit. We all have families and communities counting on us. True. It's time to leave that all behind. We've already lost so much, and it's so heavy on my heart to forgive anyone I had issues with in the past. It's all love from me, praying for everyone. Life goes on. You know, that is the first positive message I've seen in a long, long time. There was somebody else that came out after he got out of prison. I can't remember what the name of the guy was, but he came out with another rapper came out with a good message. Dudes, you guys gotta stop. You gotta stop this killing. I mean, we're gonna play this little clip here.
Yeah, there's a couple of different clips. After
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and video downloads. So,
Killers in the trenches. The Grammys ain't gonna change me for nothing. But you know what will? Federal prison for the rest of your natural life. You're gonna get life without parole.
oh, can you explain like a murder for hire plot if he's like a principal in that? So
on a murder, it's conspiracy case basically. And conspiracy to commit murder is basically an agreement between two or more people and an act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Purchasing of the airline tickets is an act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Taking a substantial step. Getting people out there and then having them do what they did. You're just as guilty of that crime as though you pulled the trigger yourself.
especially that he's orchestrating everything.
I like the bitches who let me just offer them cash.
The bitches who let me just offer them cash, you never gonna ask me for nothing, never gonna switch. Only time I ever switch is a Glock with a motherfucking button.
Only time I'm gonna switch is with a Glock with a motherfucking button. Do you think they're gonna try to use this in this trial? Maybe. I don't know.
Folks see us, only the following before pockets full, but we keep it 100. That shit solid, I done took loss, I done turned robbers and killers and bosses.
I done turned rappers to killers and boss. I mean, I think this is gonna be. You might think it's art, but it certainly is self-snitching. If you ask me.
That's what I put up.
So here's a direct song where Durk go no auto, whatever that means. Let's listen to his words because this is him talking specifically about the LA shooting. Why you bring your cousin around? You know he's a rat. We got one or two more here. So this is at Lil Durk's 30th birthday, telling him to make a wish.
Hey, Smart, make your wish, gang.
He said it already happened. What does he mean by that?
In that instance, he said that was his 30th birthday. He's like, make your wish. And you remember, that was such a calculated hit on the Gold Coast, right outside of Dolce & Gabbana. Two cars pull up. FPG Ducks, he had an aftermarket extended magazine. It jammed. And two cars pull up, four guys get out, all with some with Draco, some with whatever. It was a hit. It was an assassination attempt.
So that's what we got going on here with Lil Durk and all this crap. He's not being. This has nothing to do with FPG Duck's murder. But I wouldn't be surprised if people start talking. You got 5 people who are going to be in custody. Guess
Y'all
what?
can't hear?
The youngest, the littlest one, the most scared is going to talk. And guess what they do? They snitch.
Shut your mouth.
This is a short, so it's obviously.
Close that door, monkey. Close the door. Yeah.
See, when you listen to this song,
Move your hand.
is it art? No, not. It's diss tracks. It's intentionally talking shit about somebody who died. And if you have anything that ties you anywhere close to this, they're going to use this in your case. They're just going to. And it's just self-snitching. And that's what we started this whole thing about self-snitching. I just can't believe some of the dumb shit that they say and the dumb shit that they do.
So, the one little tidbit I'd like you to add is that even though he's not indicted now with the duck stuff, they're patient. This is a federal case. The feds are patient. The MUWAP and all those people that are indicted, you know.
So, people have patterns and histories. First of all, there is no time limit, statute of limitations on murder. So, the feds are patient, they are patient, and so are homicide detectives. You got 5 people who, along with Lil Durk, got hauled into custody. And you think they're going to sit around and protect his ass? No, they're not. I guarantee you they're not. And not all of them, anyway. And it won't take long before somebody cracks on that BG Duck stuff. Because if, in fact, Lil Durk was responsible in any way for aiding, advising, counseling, conspiring, or otherwise procuring the homicide of FBG Duck, he's on the hook for the whole thing. And it seems to match, because remember, that was on the Gold Coast, and there were these young guys that were hired, and, you know, that case is still pending. And if you remember, in that case, all the guys in that case got life without parole.
Yes, 6 O-Block street gang members convicted in 2020. Let's see, verdict, let me see, the sentencing. This is the article right here.
That's okay, we don't need to go too far afield.
Yeah, no, well, this isn't too far afield.
Was that 2020?
When the murder happened?
No.
No, this article is posted.
So, AR App, right? Salute to AR App. He has an affiliate named Skinny Me. For clarity, this is AR. This type of stuff, isn't it intermingled? We'll find out later. Anyway, let me get back to it.
Close to him that was wearing a wire that would be willing to testify as to his involvement. Because his involvement right now is kind of tangentially involved,
Right.
where he's the funder, but there's no direct allegation that he said, hey, this is what I want done. There's an allegation that he spoke in code and he could have said this and all these different things, but there's no allegation that says, hey, this is what he said and this is what was going to happen.
And to be clear, when we're talking about this, obviously there are multiple people involved. You can't have a conspiracy unless there are several people involved, especially something like this. So, although Banks might be the most famous of the names that are called out in the indictment, he's not the only one. I'm going to list them out. In the indictment, we have Kevon London Grant, we have DeAndre Dontrell Wilson, we have Keith Jones, David Bryan Lindsay, and Asa Houston. And the indictment also names 5 co-conspirators, with Banks being one of them. In the indictment, he's referred to by his initials DB, or co-conspirator 1. So here's a little bit of background on this case. And it really starts in 2020, because that is when Banks was with his friend and fellow Chicago reputation, including the interview of one of witnesses. For example, assault at the direction of Banks and to maintain their status in OTF. For example, based on evidence collected during the investigation, including the interview of one of witnesses, I know that Banks put a monetary bounty out for an individual with whom Banks was feuding, named TB. And then there's a footnote at the bottom of that page that reads, Due to serious safety concerns, this affidavit does not provide the identity of these witnesses. Based on the FBI's investigation, I know that witnesses and or their family members have already received threats and or have been contacted in what appears to be attempts to influence their participation in this investigation. What do you make of that, Bradford?
So it's basic. You know, like a lot of these allegations, you can almost take each one of these and put them into every case that we've seen as of late, where witnesses are either contacted or witnesses are offered a monetary amount not to testify. And sometimes that comes with a civil case. You know, like if there's a civil matter that's outstanding, they might say, hey, listen, there's a civil matter that you could have, and we're going to give you a settlement of X, Y, Z. The feds automatically take that as you're buying off a witness. So it just depends on the facts of those circumstances. Like, I've seen it many times where the feds read into it differently than you would if you just read it yourself, wherein people are trying to be influenced. A friend of a friend might contact you and say, like, hey, listen, this isn't a good idea to be a witness in a federal case. The feds take that as, oh, hey, this is, you know, Bob Smith influencing this witness because he's friends with this person who's friends with that person. A lot of times that doesn't shake out the way that they put it in the indictment, and they put that in the indictment specifically for bond purposes, right? So when you go in for bond, they say, hey, listen, this guy's trying to influence everybody, and here's all these things. But when you actually get into the case, sometimes those things don't shake out, and then it's already too late because you already moved for bond and you didn't get bond.
That's the same thing that's happening with Sean Combs. I mean, well, that's a little different because he's not charged specifically with obstruction, but it's part of the racketeering count. I read this indictment. I didn't see anything that Lil Durk is charged specifically with obstruction or witness tampering. It's more the conspiracy. There's also federal weapons charges. So does that give you pause too that he's not? I mean, again, maybe I'm wrong, that he wasn't directly charged with anything like witness tampering, obstruction.
Yeah, it always gives me pause. Whenever the feds throw an indictment in, it gives me pause right away. Because a lot of times you'll see in the indictment, there's a lot of accusations in the indictment that when you start getting into it, it starts kind of flushing out the facts. They stretch what could be a basic fact, they stretch it into something that it's not. And I've seen this time and time again. So in this case, it could be individuals that are loosely associated with OTF, or that is signed to the label, or something else that has contacted a witness, and they're trying to put whatever they did onto Durk Banks. So that's the issue here, right? Is that they're just lumping them all together. They'll just say, hey, listen, you know, because this guy did that, obviously Durk is the quote-unquote leader of OTF, he must have known what was going on, therefore he shouldn't get a bond because this is a dangerous gang. And it's like, you notice they stopped short of saying this is a dangerous gang and said this is a dangerous association of individuals that are known as OTF, which I thought was interesting because generally speaking, when it comes to any of these rap groups, so like, you know, there's OTF and YNW and YSL, and they all say like, hey, all of these nicknames, this is all a gang. And you know, even though it's a record label, it's also a gang, and that's kind of their argument with every single one of these. And that's going to be their argument here. But I thought it was interesting in the indictment, it didn't specifically say gang, it said an association of individuals that go under OTF. I thought that was kind of interesting because I don't know what kind of evidence they have to say OTF is or is not a gang, legally, the legal definition.
I thought it was PTSD from the YSL trial. Let's not rush to call anything a gang because of all the trouble there. That's a separate conversation. We can have a long talk about that. Okay, but this I think could be problematic for Lil Durk, and I'll get into this because on the morning of October 24th, we have federal and local law enforcement. They execute these search warrants in Chicago. They arrest Grant, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, Houston. And that is when they learned that Banks had booked multiple flights that were leaving the country. The affidavit says the FBI received notifications from U.S. Customs and Border Protection showing that Banks had been booked as a passenger on 2 international flights. A one-way flight from Miami to Dubai, United Arab Emirates, connecting through Doha, Qatar, scheduled to depart the evening of October 24th, and one-way flight from Fort Lauderdale to Switzerland, connecting via New Jersey, also scheduled to depart the evening of October 24th. Now, Banks didn't board either flight, but at approximately 6:40 p.m., the FBI received an additional CBP notification that Banks had been booked as a passenger on a private plane departing Miami and destined for Italy, scheduled to depart at approximately 9 p.m. At approximately 8 p.m., Banks was arrested by law enforcement in the vicinity of the departing airport. So, Bradford, I mean, that seems to be evidence that he might have been trying to leave the country. You tell me what you make of that.
So, I make a couple different things of that. So the first part of that is all the countries that he has, that Dubai is going to extradite you.
That's what I thought. All these countries are sending you to America.
Switzerland's going to extradite you. These countries are going to extradite. You know, the only three places that don't extradite are like you go to Vietnam, you go to Morocco. There's certain countries that don't extradite, like strictly don't extradite. All these other countries, even if they don't have a treaty with the U.S. for extradition, they're going to extradite because they rely on the U.S. for money. They rely on the U.S. for support. Switzerland, especially. Italy will deport you in about 10 seconds. They'll extradite you in 10 seconds. So I don't make much of whether or not he was going to escape and flee the country. I think more than likely, and sometimes this happens, when
Somebody said, what about Bali? I see y'all on Rumble. I see you, Beats.
it was unusual that there were so many booked, right? What's not unusual is sometimes where an individual doesn't know whether or not there's a warrant out for their arrest. And I've seen this before happen in the past, where some associates get arrested, and in order to see whether or not they have a warrant, because that's not public knowledge whether or not they have a warrant, they'll book an international flight, and it'll red flag them, and then they'll get a call from the FBI, or their lawyer will get a call, and they'll say, like, hey, your client's red flag, they're trying to leave the country, just so you know, they're under investigation, or XYZ, and you find out information you wouldn't necessarily find out. Now, I don't know if that's the case here, because there were so many that were booked, but I have seen that before in the past, where a client will call me and say, like, hey, Bob Smith got arrested, can you check if I have a warrant? We can't check if there's a warrant. Oh, no one tells us there's a warrant.
So just to be clear about that, so you're saying instead of, they didn't have an option where he calls his lawyers and say, hey, can you check with the feds to find out if there's a warrant out for my arrest? That wouldn't work. So you're saying this is a way for him to find out, hey, am I in trouble? I'm going to book these flights and see if they get flagged.
Sure, and it's happened before. Now, the difference here is there's so many flights. You know, there's 2 or 3 flights that are booked. That's the weird part of it. But it wouldn't be weird for me to see someone that books a flight to the Bahamas. They book a flight to, Italy or Spain, and then, within 6 hours of booking that flight, they get a call or we get a call. That happens quite often. Now, it depends on your lawyer. Like,
How do you sleep?
So basically, they saying Durk was trying to see if he had a warrant.
if somebody says to me, hey, do I have a warrant out, and my associate got arrested, I've been doing this so long, I can make a phone call and not necessarily find out if there's a warrant, but I'll find out, they'll tell me, hey, listen, don't have your guy leave the country. Like, he's being watched. And then I know, okay, just let me know if I need to surrender him or whatever I need to do. And that's the relationship that you build over 30 years.
So the question is, y'all,
that's an interesting.
do y'all think Durk knew he was getting watched?
Will come out in a bond, in a bond hearing if he's questioned about that. So let me go now to these alleged co-conspirators and what exactly happened.
Do y'all think he knew that he was being watched?
California gets into it, and it says that all of them conspired and agreed with each other to knowingly use facilities of interstate and foreign commerce, namely airplanes, cars, cell phones, and the internet, with intent that the murder of TB be committed in violation of laws of any state, namely the state of California, as consideration for the receipt of consideration.
Clarence Washington, Big Homie Slam, Tony Banks,
money and lucrative music
Smokey Show, everybody in here, man.
In exchange for career
The 27 that's here.
And according to the FBI and other investigators, Banks was the one who put out this call for a bounty. And then he got word that his apparent target, Bowman, was going to be visiting Los Angeles. So authorities say they have proof that Banks and our OTF provided the funds for 5 people to fly from Chicago to San Diego and then apparently drive to Los Angeles, with the plan being to kill Mr. Bowman. The indictment lays out what we call overt acts that they say this group committed in furtherance of this conspiracy. You can't just have an agreement. You have to have overt acts, overt steps that were taken to actually commit this crime. And the apparent proof ties it back to all the defendants. For example, one overt act says, on August 18th, 2022, co-conspirator 1 texted co-conspirator 3, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me." So again, that's allegedly Lil Durk writing that. There are text messages between 3 of the defendants showing that they had the same airline ticket information. One of them also messaged someone on Instagram to say, "On my way to LA." And it's also being reported that Banks himself allegedly flew to Southern California on a private plane, was staying at a hotel in the San Fernando Valley, and authorities say they have camera footage that puts him there. Grant, who is allegedly a top OTF associate, bought ski masks, got cars, then gave 3 people guns, including one that had allegedly been converted into a machine gun to say federal crime. This is what prosecutors allege Grant did. And the indictment says that 6 people total, they traveled in 2 cars to the hotel in downtown LA where Bowman was supposedly staying. They allegedly started following Bowman, who was in a black Escalade with his cousin, Sabai Robinson, known as SR. The indictment includes photos from a traffic camera showing the white Infiniti the suspects were in, seemingly following the black SUV. And the indictment says that the suspects then followed the Escalade to a Beverly Hills gas station, parked in an alley, and the indictment reads, on August 19th, 2022, at the Beverly gas station, defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 used the firearms procured by defendant Grant, including the fully automatic firearm, to shoot at TB's car, striking and killing SR, who was standing next to TB's car while TB was inside. The images below show defendants Jones and Lindsay and co-conspirator 2 firing their guns at TB's black Escalade. So we have the death of SR. TB survived this attack. And the filing includes surveillance photos of what prosecutors say are the suspects appearing to fire guns towards the gas pumps. And you can see it's daylight in these photos at a gas station in the middle of Beverly Hills. So Bradford, whoever was responsible for this, what a blatant crime, what a blatant act in the middle of it. But talk to me how strong you think this case is, based on what I've been saying. If we're trying to prove, if the prosecutors are trying to prove conspiracy, what do you make of some of this evidence? Text messages, surveillance, travel receipts, what do you make of it?
I think that Durk will still have a defense. I think that, I don't know everything that's going on. Obviously, no one does. From what I'm reading in the indictment, I think there's some missing pieces there when it comes to Durk about how involved he was in this alleged conspiracy. The other guys, where they all have plane tickets, they all got a car, they're on tape. That's going to be a very difficult case for those lawyers who have that case, because, and I've said this multiple times on multiple cases, there are so many ways these days to catch individuals in this type of crime, where you have cell phone records, GPS data. You're going to have cross-reference on the phones, what phones are together at what times. You're going to have car rental agreements. You're going to have videotapes. It's real funny because very often you find these red light cameras and things like that the feds get on state cases where I want the footage, where I know it's good for my client. They're like, sorry, we don't save that footage. But somehow the feds get, camera footage from red light cameras, camera footage from the next door neighbor, camera footage from some guy who's just randomly on the street. So you'll see that they will put together a forensic case against the actual shooters that, will be heavily based on cell phone records, GPS data, and videotapes. When it comes to Durk Banks, so far I've seen one text that says don't have them associate my name with any kind of flights that they're taking. Certainly that's not a good text, but is that the only text? Because that doesn't, that in itself doesn't stand on its own. Certainly it's circumstantial, but like I said, we have to wait and see what other, if they have videotapes or audio tapes of him saying something. I think that's a lot different than, hey, just make sure you don't associate my name with these guys. because he could be blaming, Grant or one of these other guys and saying like, hey, these guys are going to do some crazy stuff, and he's like, hey, listen, make sure it doesn't associate with me at all. You can look at that a million different ways. So I'm hesitant to say that they have, a slam dunk case on Dirk Banks. I think that they have a long way to go on Dirk Banks in order to prove the conspiracy against him. I think the others, it's going to be very heavily based on paperwork.
So in other words, look, I said it before, what a blatant attack. You're shooting in the middle of the day near gas pumps which could explode. If you make the argument that the case against the shooters is really strong, could there be a situation where they work out an attractive plea deal? I don't know what an attractive plea deal would look like for them, considering what they're facing and what the accusations are, where they turn on Lil Durk. What
Get your butt off of
scenario
that.
What kind of deal could be worked out where you're working a deal out with the alleged shooters to go after the principal of this case, or the alleged principal?
It's happened quite often in the past. And if you told me, the deal that Sammy the Bull worked out, right? The guy killed like 19 or 20 people. He ended up getting, a year or two in jail, followed by probation. If you told me that was a deal that someone would get for, being associated with 19 or 20 murders, I would tell you that's an impossible deal to get. So it all depends on the hunger of the U.S. attorney and the AUSA that's involved. And if they want this individual badly enough, they'll make very attractive deals for these individuals. What does a very attractive deal look like? I think they go for the lowest hanging fruit. Whoever, didn't actually kill the guy, maybe someone that was involved that didn't actually shoot, or someone that shot but it didn't hit, they're going to have forensics. So they'll take whoever is the least culpable, and I think that they'll approach him and make a deal with him that'll be the most attractive. And if that guy doesn't make a deal, they'll move on to the next guy. So usually that's what happens, right? You go for the lowest hanging fruit first, the guy that you think will flip, the guy that didn't really have that much involvement. And I think what also is interesting with the indictment is it wasn't just money. They're like, oh, it could have been money, or it could have been career advancement, which is, it's strange to mention that because they don't really go into any kind of facts about it. They just say it could have been, that they would have advanced in their career. But what does that look like? Dirk promised them like a record deal,
or they assumed it. And if they assumed it, that's a weaker case for the prosecution. If it was just like, oh, I assumed if I did this for him, you got
it. That's the key, right? They're like, hey, I knew if I helped him out, he would give me a record deal.
Now, let me put a bow on this.
By the way, I want to point this out continually. And, I think it was somebody from THF who said this. And I just think this is very obvious. These guys who are charged are not contract killers, okay? They're not people who don't have any emotion, who don't have any ties to the situation. The get back for King Von, everybody who was in OTF, everybody who was a street nigga who was allegedly associated with Durk had an incentive to do. They have an incentive because people are saying the entire group got a slide for Von, not just only Durk. So it's kind of also plausible that Durk doesn't have to offer y'all money. Now, if he facilitates, that's still part of offering money, I guess, but not really. But that's part of it being a conspiracy, not necessarily murder for hire. Usually with murder for hire, it assumes that the people doing the killing have no interest in killing the person. They're being hired as murderers, they're being hired as killers, but they don't necessarily care either or that the person gets killed. In this situation, it's not the truth, right? Everybody wants to slide for Von, right? It's not just Durk saying, hey, here is this money, and that's going to come down to it. Because, if they throw these innocuous things like, oh, career advancement, maybe he thought OTF Diddy was a great rapper. OTF Diddy sat with me on off the record. They were trying to promote the guy, clearly. Who knows if he was just like, oh no, this is just payback for me trying to get your career off the ground because you killed this guy for me. We don't know. That's something that could be argued. As opposed somebody saying, in a dog situation, you heard what that guy, the Cornelius guy said. He said, yo, I don't know, I'm dog from a can of paint. All I know it was $50,000. I need $50,000. That's classic murder for hire. Classic, right? Classic murder for hire. How much money you getting? What was promised? What did you get? Now, sometimes what you get is not what you promised. Obviously, because the cops come in and they fuck it up. In the Dolph case. But here, we don't know how much was promised. How much was promised? How much money was on Quando's head? We don't know. And maybe we find out at a point, but right now we don't.
And talk about what happened
Sleepy.
after the shooting. The suspects then apparently went to an In-N-Out hamburger stand to talk about payment.
Them niggas
for the
went to
murder.
In and Out.
Then they flew home to Chicago from San Diego. Wilson later paid Jones and Lindsay an undisclosed amount of money. That's how prosecutors say this murder plot ended. But the indictment, it charges the 5 named defendants and the 5 alleged co-conspirators with violation of the U.S. Code. It's 1958, use of interstate commerce facilities in the commission of murder for hire. It's part of the statute dealing with racketeering. And because someone was killed, Banks faces life in prison or possibly the death penalty if he's convicted. And all the defendants, they're also charged with firearm possession resulting in a death. The indictment says they knowingly used and carried firearms, including a firearm that defendants Grant, Wilson, Jones, Lindsay, and Houston knew to be a machine gun during and or in relationship to and possessed such firearms in furtherance of a crime of violence, and so doing discharged the firearms, resulting in the death of S.R. And defendant Keith Jones, he's also charged separately for knowingly possessing a machine gun, namely a 10mm caliber firearm equipped with an auto-sear conversion device, which was designed and intended solely and exclusively for use in converting a weapon into a machine gun, which defendant Jones knew to be a machine gun.
Yeah, wow, I'm talking about Quando Rondo were 10K. I like this priceless, people. Let me tell you this. If I was somebody who's screaming,
Man, they don't know shit. This nigga Thug set himself up. He set himself up, man. Like, you can do one thing, bro. And be right back in there
Airport
for
dad,
life.
protector of passports. What's up? Who up right now? What's up? Who up right now?
That's this old. This ain't new. This clickbait. His face way fatter than that. He gained a lot of weight. He ain't little like that no more.
I'm alive. I just jumped on here to let you know that yes, a goat can go live. Whoa!
With Young Thug released from jail following the latest mess in the YSL Rico trial, with him accepting a plea deal, he has now returned home with his family.
Come on.
However, DJ Academics does not believe it's going to be that easy.
Come on, come lay
explaining
down.
that it's actually all a setup for Young Thug to go back to prison.
I know some of his fans think he beat the case. He definitely didn't beat the case. Beat the case means you got no stipulations. The Young Thug thing is a win, but it's also a huge setup. If you gonna tell me that they're gonna monitor him on a probationary basis for 15 years, can't be in Atlanta, can't communicate with co-defendants or gang members, he can't rap about, he can't promote any music that has to do with what they believe is gang activity. But he's always gonna talk about him and he's doing his thing. They might consider that gang activity. He might be like, yo, it's like, yo, we going to the park getting lit. We going to the club getting lit. They might be like, oh no, you talking about the gang. So, we celebrating right now because I think we could all see, if you follow that trial at all, whether you're a fan of Thug or not, you can see the pain, you can see this was going through it. Like, he gained a lot of weight. Everybody knows Thug is not that weight, so we happy he got out, but we definitely got to be very cognizant of how it's going to play out.
DJ Academics and others don't believe it's going to be that easy for Young Thug, as many think that Young Thug speaking inside a court was one of the only reasons that he was even released. As Young Thug would describe to the judge and jury the type of man that he truly is, and that he's truly sorry for everything that he's ever done.
Anything that you want to say?
Yes, ma'am. I take full responsibility for, my crimes or my charges. I want to say sorry to my family, my mom, My mom got 11 kids. I can't say all the names, you know. My managers, my kids that's not here. Really everybody that got something to do with this situation, I want to say sorry for just like, you know, having so much time investing into this, you know, and I am a smart guy, I am a good guy, and I really got a good heart, you know. I find myself in a lot of stuff because I was just nice or cool, you know, and I understand that you can't be that way when you reach a certain height because it could end bad.
As Young Thug would even continue further on this speech, making everybody cry inside of the room, as he definitely hit a nerve with a lot of the jury and judge members that were in that courtroom.
I hope that you allow me to go home today and just trust in me to just do the right thing and never see you again unless it's at a, you know, bar in the future or something. Just out of this type of situation, I promise you I won't ever be in this type of situation again. I'm going away. I've learned from my mistakes, you know. I come from nothing and I made something and I didn't take full advantage of it. I'm sorry. Through these last 2.5 years of my life, you are really, truly, honestly, the best thing that has happened because you made everything fair for me and everybody involved on both sides, you know. I'm sorry to the sheriff, you know, everybody for just having to put extra time in. I know y'all got to pay more money, but I'm sorry for y'all having to put this extra time in to be away from y'all family, you know, and I just hope that.
As Young Thug would then end his speech off by just allowing the judge to understand everything that he has done great for his community. And if Young Thug were to be released today, he can go back to helping out those in need in communities that desperately need funding.
You found it in your heart to allow me to go home and be with my family and just do better as a person. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I am. I know the heights I've reached. I know the impact I got on people, period, in the community, you know, all people. I learned that late, like these past 2 or 3 years of my life, I kind of learned that late, and maybe it was because I was, you know, probably on or anything, I don't know, but I have came to my senses. I understand what I mean to this world, but I am a good guy, you know. I don't mind doing stuff like, you know, like free shows, and I always did that, you know. I did free shows and gave it to single parents, millions of dollars. You know, I made $1.8 million on a free show, and I gave it all to single parent charity, and I did.
But to understand Young Thug and everyone's reaction to him being released, you need to see the moments when Young Thug would walk up to the stand to accept the plea deal.
Mr. Steele, Mr. Adams, Mr. Williams, where are we? Ready to go forward? All right. Yeah, coming up here to the podium. All right, Sergeant, can you swear in Mr. Williams?
Raise your right hand. You swear firm testimony you give the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Jeffrey Williams, JEFFERY WILLIAMS.
As it would be that moment when Young Thug was accepting his fate and he was allowing to have a plea deal determine his future, as it would be announced, the state is recommending Young Thug is sentenced to 45 years with 25 years to serve. However, Thug's lawyer Brian Steele was definitely not going to accept that offer at all. So they would do a special type of plea deal called a new loop, where basically the judge determines Young Thug's sentence.
And Mr. Williams, were you aware of the state's previous offer that was turned down prior to your making this non-negotiated plea?
Yes.
All right. And Your Honor, at this time, the state is making a recommendation of 45 years with 25 to serve in custody, followed by 20 on probation, subject to the special requirements of 1615 for the statute.
Right before the judge would accept the terms of the Nulu agreement, the state would then offer one more deal. As it would be announced, he could have come home today if he accepted the previous offer, but he did not agree to the special conditions, as the state wanted Young Thug to turn on YSL members, announcing that YSL is a gang, and he would also have to give information up on 8 members that are still currently going on with charges.
Would have been released today for 15 years on probation. If he successfully completes that probation, then he would not have to go to custody. If he did not, he'd face probation revocation as well as 23 years, as the court said, backloaded in the Georgia prison system. But we could not come to terms on all the conditions that the district attorney was insisting.
Okay.
But once again, there was no way Thug was accepting that. He was not going to fall back on his guys at YSL, and he definitely was not going to ruin his reputation. This is where Young Thug's lawyer did something so unthinkable. He rolled the dice on Young Thug's entire future by not accepting the initial plea deal that was offered. As we then saw Brian Steele announce to the courtroom what Young Thug is willing to accept, and it's reported Young Thug pleads no contest to the RICO count in the gang leader count. The rest, he pleads guilty.
One, which is the racketeering conspiracy count. Mr. Williams is tendering a plea under nolo contendere. As to count 56, which is participation in a criminal street gang activity as being a leader or a supervisor or organizer, Mr. Williams is also tendering a plea to this honorable court as under nolo contendere. The balance of the counts, so he is tendering a guilty plea.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
would the court like to hear from the state or not?
About the NOLO issues?
Yes, yes.
Sure.
Your Honor, the state asked that the court not accept a NOLO plea and require either a guilty plea or a not guilty plea as to these charges.
All right. I'm going to permit a NOLO plea as to counts 1 and 56.
As Young Thug would even announce himself that he needs to take a plea deal today. The trial was not even supposed to end for another 3 months, but sadly, Thug wanted it over. He would be announced. Young Thug's lawyer said Thug insisted on this because he could not handle 3 more months of his kids crying. If there was a chance that he could come home today, his lawyer told him they were winning the trial, but he was okay with either decision.
For almost 2 years since we did our jury selection initiation on January 4th, 2023. Mr. Williams has been sitting in a jail since May 9th, 2022. This is 2.5 years waiting for the conclusion of the state's case and a verdict from the jury, and that's why he has tendered his plea. I'm telling the court this, and the court knows when you came out the first time, it's very hard for Mr. Williams. I'm not supportive of what we're doing right now. I'm not against it, but I told Mr. Williams that I think we're winning the trial and we should go to verdict. But he told me I can't wait another 3 months if there is any possibility I could go home because I have children that are hurting.
After hearing the reports of his children desperately wanting to see their father, with Young Thug not being able to handle it anymore, he accepted a deal. This is when the judge finally had her verdict on Young Thug, and she would continue to sentence him with the following.
So essentially, the total sentence is 40 years to serve the first 5 years in prison, but commuted to the time that you have already served, followed by 15 years on probation, followed then by the backloaded 20 years, which can be served in custody and will be served in custody if you are not successful on your probation. If you are successful in completing your 15 years probation, that will be commuted to time served.
With it being announced that Young Thug was then released from jail, everyone in the courtroom was so happy. This even then led into a post-game interview with Young Thug's lawyer, saying on how Young Thug now feels out of jail and what he went through.
As far as how Jeffrey's feeling now, he knows my feelings, which I'm not going to reveal for attorney-client privilege, but this is not the same as a not guilty verdict. That should have been around. But nobody here wakes up every day on a concrete floor that they're calling his bed, gets up at 4:15, gets shackled at his feet, his waist, and his hand, comes to the Fulton County Courthouse to be on concrete, eating out of a bag Doritos is his meal of choice. And then coming to a courtroom and sit there with a leg chain on him every single day and hear lie after lie. So for Jeffrey go home today and not have another 90 days or 120 days of it, he is very happy.
Now this would end up getting the attention of rappers in the industry. 4-2 Doug explained it perfectly. He always felt like somebody had it out for Young Thug in that they wanted him forever. But thankfully, due to Brian Steele and how great of a lawyer he is, they didn't keep him long.
Have you been tapped into the YSL case at all, and how do you think that's been?
I've been trying to watch a little bit.
Do you think it's being mishandled?
I think it should have been dismissed. With the judge that just happened crazy, like trying to send his lawyer to jail. From the outside looking in, it's looking like they got something against him.
But this also felt similar to what Boosie said about YNW Melly. Because when the feds want you, especially when you're a rich, famous rapper, they're gonna find ways to keep you in jail. However, this time, they couldn't keep him.
Now they're putting even more charges on him, and then,
When they want you, they want you. I knew they wanted them bad when they waited for that law to get passed. They waited all the way.
Penalty.
So it'd be 8-4.
Oh, right. Yeah.
They waited all the way till that law got passed to take him in trial.
Yeah, he was in jail for what, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah. They could have been took him in trial.
You're right.
They waited till that law got passed and took him to trial a couple months later. When they want you, man. Just don't see how he didn't get a bond after a mistrial.
Yeah.
That made me like, God damn.
Yeah.
Like, after a mistrial, that doesn't happen, really.
Election alert. Election day is on November 5th. Who you vote for is private, but if you vote is public information. After this election, your voting record...
Got a little bit more. So, shout out to my man Bradford Cohen, who actually went on Law and Crime.
Another rapper federal.
He spoke about pretty much what the government has on Durk, and he's pretty much talking about what's necessary. Now, we've given our opinion. He's an actually reputed lawyer. He's dealt with Fed cases a lot. He's going to give us his opinion. He did it on Law and Crime. Shout out to them. Now, what we said is that this case is heavily dependent on a snitch. Because there's nothing that really ties, again, none of this stuff looks good for Durk. I'm not going to say it looks good. But it's heavily dependent on somebody who's cooperating, who's going to corroborate the fact that Durk did in fact put a hit on somebody and did in fact somehow indirectly or through a third party pay these guys for the death and the commission of the murder or the attempted murder on Quando Rondo, but the death of Lil Pop. So here we're going to have Bradford Cohen break it down. It gives us some interesting information. Let me go take a picture quick and refill my cup.
To the show, Bradford Cohen, to talk more about this. Bradford, thanks so much for coming on. Really appreciate it. We have another rap star taken into custody on some pretty serious charges. Very different than the Sean Combs case, which we've been talking so much about. Just what are your initial thoughts on the indictment, the affidavit, these initial documents? The Sean Combs accuser can no longer remain anonymous. The government is fighting back against allegations of leaking information, and they also say the embattled rapper doesn't have a right to know more about the case just yet. We're going to break down some new legal developments in the ongoing saga of Diddy. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. All right, so we got some legal filings in the Sean Diddy Combs case that I want to go through. And of course, right now, Combs is locked up, pending trial on federal charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution. The allegations being that starting in 2008, Combs and others participated in a criminal enterprise that used violence and obstruction to accomplish its mission, its goals. This included engaging in kidnapping, arson, bribery, that they used Combs' power and prestige to force women to engage in prolonged sex acts with male sex workers. These are those infamous freak-offs that we've talked about. And Combs allegedly directed these sessions, recorded them. But moreover, prosecutors allege that Combs engaged in a campaign of physically assaulting, sexually abusing, and threatening women. But now let's talk about the latest. We have a couple of filings we want to talk about. First up, the government filed something called Opposition to the Defendant's Motions for a Hearing, Bill of Particulars, and Gag Order. A lot of legalese, I'm going to break it down. So they are addressing a few things here. First, they're asking the court to deny Combs' request for the court to hold an evidentiary hearing regarding alleged leaks made by the government. Now, we've discussed this before, but Combs' team has asserted that Homeland Security agents, the ones that raided his properties back in March, that they were the ones who leaked that infamous 2016 videotape of him purportedly beating Cassandra Ventura, his ex-girlfriend, in a hotel hallway. Remember, this was published by CNN. The government says, wait, there is no leak of any grand jury material here, which would be illegal under the law. All of this is really what the defense is doing, Judge. All of this is just an effort to suppress what would be a key piece of evidence in the trial. Because after all, if the government really did improperly leak this video, it could arguably be prevented from coming into trial. The government says, quote, but as the defendant is fully aware, the video was not in the government's possession at the time of CNN's publication, and the government has never at any point obtained the video through grand jury process. They also say the defendant baselessly accuses DHS agents who have no authority to issue grand jury process of secretly obtaining the intercontinental video unbeknownst to the prosecutors conducting the investigation and then leaking it to CNN. No evidentiary hearing is necessary to reject these assertions as incredible. Prosecutors also say the government ultimately obtained the intercontinental video at the same time as the general public on May 17, 2024, when CNN publicly released the footage. The morning that CNN released the intercontinental video, counsel for the defendant contacted the prosecutors assigned to the case to alert them that CNN had the video and expressed a concern that someone provided this footage to CNN. But here's the thing. Prosecutors said, you know what? We don't have the original copy of this video. We never got it. We tried to look for it. We tried to find it. We knew about it before it was published, meaning they knew it existed somewhere, but all they knew was that it had disappeared from the hotel server. And of course, there were allegations that Combs was instrumental in making this video disappear, even allegedly trying to bribe a security guard. So the government is like, this was never grand jury material. They even told Combs' lawyers in an email that they didn't have the video before CNN published it. In fact, in an email from prosecutor Emily Johnson to Sean Combs' defense team, which is attached to this filing, it says, to be clear, to our understanding, DHS did not have possession of the videotape prior to CNN's publication of it. The prosecutors also write that it strains credulity to suggest that law enforcement agents independently obtain the intercontinental video with a grand jury subpoena they have no authority to issue. The defendant refuses to acknowledge that multiple individuals other than government agents, including some of his own employees, may have had access to the intercontinental video. So that's something we've always wondered. I mean, how did CNN get it? Who leaked it to them? Where did it come from? Was it explained how? Yes, look, of course, there is a need for secrecy of the grand jury process. That's clear, right? Because if you don't have secrecy with the grand jury process, then witnesses may not testify, or it may affect their testimony if it's all out in the open, or the target of an investigation may flee if they know a grand jury is looking into them. But despite all that, the government says the federal rules regarding what can and can't be disclosed about the grand jury, it doesn't apply to information that's obtained independently outside of the grand jury process. In other words, this tape wasn't grand jury material.
Man, the feds put that tape out.
Non-public information that the government had in its possession. So that's all issue one as to why the prosecutors say Sean Combs is not entitled to an evidentiary hearing looking into alleged.
But they do got tapes in their possession.
What do I talk about all the time on Sidebar? I talk about the law, right? I talk about the law on Law and Crime Sidebar. I talk about legal rulings, legal decisions. Well, I have a landmark one for you right now that has just changed things in a massive way. Why? Because you can now legally trade on who will win the 2024 election. Yes, this is legal. And that is because our sponsor of Sidebar, Kalshi, went to court and won legal approval for election trading.
We're going to come back to this bit. win his trial again, man. That nigga locked up. We look
So
at
I'm
all
gonna
these.
get y'all a trial order. It's gonna be Wednesday, September the 10th, 2025, at 9 o'clock. I'll sign a separate order today, Mr. Jim.
Wednesday, September the 25th, 2025. How long this nigga been locked up? Y'all heard that? How long this nigga been locked up?
It's gonna be Wednesday, September the 10th, 2025, at 9 o'clock. I'll sign a separate order today, Mr. Jim.
September the 10th. That's a whole
Wednesday,
fucking
September
year.
the 10th, 2025. It's Ms. Buckaroo, Ms. Collins, Mr. Griffiths for the state, Ms. Liberty, Mr. Aronson.
Man, how long y'all YNW Melly been?
If something changes about that, I'm sure you all will let me know.
2019 G.
Page 5 is set for trial September the 10th, 2025 at 9 o'clock. At the same date and time as Mr. Devins. I'll sign a separate order today.
They shitting on him, man.
For trial on that day. The Mr. Devins case on the top of page 10, which is the new tampering case. I'll give that a calendar call December the 5th, 8:45 a.m. December the 5th at 8:45 a.m. On the bottom of page 10, Cortland Henry, that is the tampering case. In that case, I'll delete the September 27th status that Judge Murphy had previously set. I'll give that case a calendar call December the 5th at 8:45. Bye guys.
God damn, man. That nigga been locked up for a long
We are now
time.
a year removed from the first YNW Melly double murder trial that ended in a hung jury. Melly's retrial was paused after the state appealed a judge's ruling that excluded evidence from Melly's phone records, emails, and social media posts. Alright boys, I know this trial's been crooked for months, but today I'm going to read a few documents, and Melly's former lawyer, Bradford Cohen, a very seasoned lawyer from Florida, posted a new document on Instagram today, and I'm going to read that because it's really interesting. Hit subscribe, like the video right now, let's get right into it, boys. Alright, so the first document we got here is order denying defense motion to set aside stay and order granting defense motion to modify stay to allow discovery to proceed. So when the state requested a stay on this case, they wanted it completely paused while the appellate court dealt with everything else. Melly's team wanted to proceed to get it going faster. The court cites this case right here, says the taking of depositions is not a judicial proceeding since the judge is not in attendance and since the deposition cannot be received into evidence. From 1985 and 1987, if depositions are not judicial proceedings, it stands to reason that no part of the discovery process can be a judicial proceeding. The state argues that the automatic stay provision divests this court of jurisdiction, and the 4th District Court of Appeal now has sole jurisdiction of the entire case. This is incorrect. They're saying the state is wrong. The court retains jurisdiction over discovery matters on appeal, even though the case has been automatically stayed. While this court denies the vacator of the automatic stay, the preceding analysis is helpful in determining whether to partially modify the stay to allow for discovery and litigation related to discovery issues to proceed while the orders on appeal are pending before the 4th District Court of Appeals. The court finds that there are compelling circumstances to modify the stay to allow for discovery and discovery-related litigation to proceed while the rest of the case is stayed. So it sounds like the judge has a brain and wants this trial to be fucking over because it's 5 years. Holy shit, this guy's been locked up for 5 years. If the defendant is unable to proceed with discovery, he will be forced to choose between his speedy trial rights and his right to a fair trial when the 4th District Court of Appeal eventually issues a mandate in this case. Since he is not entitled to a pretrial release, he will be detained for longer than necessary pretrial due to the delay in concluding discovery.
Yeah.
Both cases involve complex issues, expert testimony, multiple witnesses, and extensive discovery. While the state continues to obtain evidence and conduct additional testing during the pendency of the appeal, it is highly unlikely that the defendant will be able to dispose all witnesses and fully prepare for trial within 90 days of the trial window. It starts to run up to the 4th District Appeal issues a mandate of discovery does not proceed during the pendency of the appeal. Not only are there other outstanding depositions of expert state witnesses, but the defendant may need to retain his own experts based on the outstanding discovery of the depositions of the expert witnesses. The co-defendants will be forced to face the same Hobson's choice. Proceeding with discovery depositions and litigating discovery-related matters will in no way affect
last
the issues that are
weekend
currently
I ain't
on
have
appeal.
it.
Okay,
This
so that
weekend I
last
got
sentence
it.
right there sums it up. Let's get this going while the appeal is being handled. The judge
But
has a brain.
I'm
This was
doing
filed
this
May 2nd.
podcast podcast. When
So
I
I've
get
made an
off this
update video since
podcast, I'm
April.
gonna call you.
My bad. I've been consumed by the YSL
Aight.
trial. Alright, here we have another motion to compel discovery. On February 7, 2024, defendant filed his motion to compel discovery regarding the below. Proof of all efforts made by all law enforcement agencies to serve Mariah Hamilton with writ to appear at trial, including but not limited to skip traces, searches for employer, searches for enrollment in college, trade schools or other educational institutions. All efforts by and between the state attorney's office and Christopher Barras to amicably resolve his issues in Mariah Hamilton giving a statement. On February 9th, the court entered an order granting the defendant's motion. Rather than provide the requested discovery or in the alternative response that the documents don't exist, the SOF filed a motion for rehearing which was denied. A week later, to date, the SOF has not complied with the discovery request. SOF is willingly disobeying the court's orders and should be held to answer as to why they won't provide the corpus delicti of the witness tampering charge. Damn, so they're straight up ignoring the court's orders in regards to the witness tampering. The state's been very grimy in this case, I'm gonna be honest, boys. The detective
Yeah,
was
Florida, a racist ass state,
proven to be a
man.
liar. A member of the district attorney's office even said that he was a liar, like his own side straight up said he was. The actions of the SOF are in violation of the request that if the above described discovery request is not provided in the information filed by the SOF, should be dismissed. Now here's the state's response to the defendant's second motion to compel about what I just read before. They say the state was never notified for this motion to be heard on February 9th. On February 6th, the state emailed the Honorable Court confirming the motions that was believed to be set for this particular hearing date. These motions include the defense's urgent motion for status. At no point in time was the defense's second motion to compel ever docketed to be heard. Despite not being placed on the docket for hearing, counsel for the defendant presented the motion in court. When this motion was brought up by defense counsel, the state very clearly stated that this motion was not set for today, and that the state would like time to respond to this motion in writing. The court, without any indication of response, simply said, "What's next?" Wait, so the state's saying this wasn't planned at all and everyone just wanted to proceed? God forbid the defense and the judge say, "What's next? Let's keep it going." I know they have to keep it in order and everything and have shit on the docket, but God forbid they speed up shit. The state was not noticed nor given a proper opportunity to respond to the defense motion, yet the court issued an order. The court issued a written ruling granting the defense motion without giving the state a reasonable nor meaningful opportunity to be heard, which is a violation of the state's due process rights. Had the state been given a meaningful opportunity to be heard, the state would have made the following points of law and fact. Here we go, here's the response. Due to the inherent nature of the charge of witness tampering discovered from the defense's original case, is relevant to the defense's newest charges. The defendant moved to depose Christine Bradley, who was the assistant state attorney that was in Melly's first trial, the brunette girl. The state objected, and this honorable court specifically asked the defense counsel why they wanted to depose her. The defendant's counsel made baseless, unfounded accusations of Bradley, accusing her of not making any efforts to bring a witness, Mariah Hamilton, for deposition. Defense counsel further stated before this court that they specifically wanted to depose Bradley regarding her alleged efforts in bringing in witness, Mariah Hamilton, for deposition. The state responded in open court saying there are emails to prove what counsel is saying is unfounded and that the state is currently going through Alton prior to sending them out in supplemental discovery. This honorable court deferred ruling on the defense request to depose Bradley in order to state supplemental discovery December 28th. Melly's team had big accusations with Christine Bradley about not putting effort and having Melly's ex-girlfriend to come in for deposition. They saying this is complete cat. Dumb that down. These emails indicate there were times Ms. Hamilton's counsel was unresponsive and Bradley had an investigator assigned to make sure he was okay. In fact, leading up to days before the deposition, Bradley even contacted Ms. Hamilton's mother due to unresponsiveness of her counsel. He also contacted other individuals that were counsel to try and get a hold of it. He also contacted other people. The emails proved that no one was getting a hold of anybody. Proof of all efforts made by all law enforcement agencies to serve Mariah Hamilton with writ to appear at trial. This is impossible to comply with. The state is not privy to what police departments and other counties do in order to locate Ms. Hamilton. Now they're citing some cases here. Despite the violation of its due process rights, and despite the defendant accusing the state of willfully disobeying a court order, the state has turned over what it can turn over prior to any order from this court as laid out above.
Happened inside of a Dollar Tree. We're going to show you the
And it's been 4 years since Chicago rapper.
No, I can't find that. Yeah, I can't find that one.
So I'm gonna get y'all a trial order, which is the new tampering case. I'll give that a calendar call.
We are now a year removed from the first YW Melly double murder. getting a hold of anybody. Proof of all efforts made by all law enforcement agencies to serve Ryan and Hamilton with writ to appear at trial. This is impossible to comply with. The city is not privy to what police departments in other counties do in order to locate Miss Hamilton. Now they're sentencing cases here. Despite the violation of its due process rights, and despite the defendant accusing the state of willfully disobeying a court order, the state has turned over what it can turn over prior to any order from this court as laid out above. At this junction, the defense motion is repetitive, frivolous, and an abuse of the court's time, therefore should be stricken. Alright, so the state is not happy. I'm telling you, man, Melly's team got rid of Christine Bradley, the first assistant state attorney. The new one.
Bloodhound Lil Durk had a homie turned op named Track City Carter, Bill. I reported on him. He was actually shot and killed. He lost his life due to gun violence. He went viral for an interview speaking on how Jeff stole his watch and stuff like that. You know, it's a lot of love.
Damn, that nigga got killed.
People posting up RIP.
He got killed fast as hell.
Was actually shot up. Looks like she was shot up very badly at the funeral. You know, this is a sad story. We're going to talk about it. Hit the like button. Go to this video 1,000 likes. Not for the clout, but to show you how this gangbanging stuff it got to the point where people are targeting people's families. You know, according to reports, this funeral happened today. And, you know, some gunmen rolled up on it and got to shooting this thing, man. You know, this was crazy. This man's family out there. It's mamas, grandmas, kids, pastors, all kind of people out there. And this young people came through and shot that thing up, man. Like, this is real sad. People were running for their lives, scared. You know, this is getting out of hand, you know. A female is being shot in this thing, man, and, you know, this is out of hand, you know. I don't know what's going on. A lot of people is saying this a retaliatory suit, you know, because this young man was out here. He's part of a neighborhood that's known to be out here. You know, this is crazy. You know, he went viral on the internet because he actually lost his life before his interview even dropped and stuff like that. He had a vlog. And they was kind of explaining what happened with Lil Durk. People were laughing and joking, explaining how he died and all kind of stuff. And Bill Carter explained how, you know, he didn't really get his watch took and he just didn't bring him back his watch and all kind of stuff like that. And we all seen the war between Trap City and Bloodhounds to the point where even the Trap City member killed Lil Durk. So this is kind of got ridiculous. So I don't know if this, you know, gang banging, but the news is reporting that this is retaliation. So, you know, this is getting deep, man. This man's funeral was shot up. It's out of hand, man. I don't know what to say, man. Chicago keep opening up different levels of wickedness. You know, this shit like a Mario game, man. It's unlocking doors. Spread on my YouTube channel, but I wanted to bring to your attention. It was a big old shooting at Trap City Carter funeral.
You say it was a big old shoot. This nigga truth teller funny as hell, man. Man, Diddy ass smoke. I seen so much shit on him. New shit. They got a only thing is now they get to bring out that motherfucking witness, man. They get to bring out that motherfucking witness. They dropped so much shit, man. What is this? 1 day ago, right? Yeah, that was 1 day ago. Full interview. Man, they page busting. They dropping shit like this. 1.6 million. Oh, nah, they doing the same damn amount of views as me, man. They doing the same amount of views as me. How many motherfucking subscribers they got?
Rise. The witness says 8 videos featured 8
60K.
celebrities at Diddy freak-offs or parties.
Oh, nah, they got
And
1
its 6
million.
were males, 2 were
1.5 million, and they doing the same amount of views as me. I'm doing good.
a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake. Courtney Burgess told his story on a podcast before he told the grand jury today, and after he told the grand jury, and I mean immediately after, he booked it over to my set, and he and his attorney talked to me. I should tell you that it was very limited in how much detail he could go into about his testimony. And because the
Melly
8
got
people
no
in the
chin.
videos, the 8
Man, they
celebrities in
smoking
the
Melly.
videos were allegedly victims
Rebel,
of
what's
sex
that
crimes.
word?
We know
That
who they
nigga
are,
been
but
locked
we
up
will
since
not be naming
February
them.
13th
Famous
of
or not.
2019,
Here
man.
now is my conversation with Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell, who's his attorney, beginning with the question of whether the participants in the video even knew they were being recorded. Were there any cameras in places where you'd assume privacy, like bathrooms?
Well, I've never been in his house, but the picture.
He saw 8 sex tapes with at least 2 celebrity minors.
Surreptitious cameras that were recording in private places like
I didn't see the cameras. You could tell how the person was angled. I knew that was a camera there because I was there. You know, I was there. I don't know if the person was too tall, if he was holding or whatever. No, I wasn't there.
May I ask you this, Courtney, and Ariel, you can jump in on this as well, but I want to hear from Courtney first. Your home was raided by federal authorities, and I assume it is because of this material. Is that true?
I wouldn't say that. They just went to every one of them.
That's the lawyer. How the fuck dude get the tapes?
The paperwork said the 24th, that I had to be there the 28th, and then it was the 27th. But I can't make it there. That's tomorrow. So I don't know. It's from the look of it.
Kim Porter associate. Oh, that's the bitch who wrote the book.
When we talk about raid,
Kim Porter is the bitch who wrote the book, right?
A subpoena is served for documents, a search warrant or an arrest warrant. In this situation, Mr. Burgess was not in any way, shape, or form had a search warrant or an arrest warrant issued for him. It was just them serving a subpoena. So when the federal government needs to serve a subpoena, they use the Marshal Service to come to all of your residences if you have more than one residence. So in this situation, they sent marshals to all of Mr. Burgess's residences, and that was somehow construed or understood or turned into a raid, but he did not face a raid. It was just to serve him a subpoena.
Ariel, do you believe that the subpoenas were issued and executed based on the federal authorities' knowledge that these flash drives existed and had this kind of compromising material?
I think it was based on statements that Mr. Burgess made in a prior interview.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations posed on him after testifying before the grand jury.
Damn, he had to testify at the grand jury.
Trump wants to grab me where?
Damn.
My dad would never allow that man to touch a hair on my head, and the policies that he would pass would do that. There's no way that you and me can vote for that woman here.
Shit.
Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
You know, and of
Diddy
those
and
8
Usher. Usher and
celebrities,
Beaver.
how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
this is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if
Appear to
they
be.
were right.
Sure.
Appear to
Let me
be,
rephrase
right,
it.
based on yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many?
Damn,
might
he
have been
fucked 6
victimizing?
niggas and 2 bitches.
I think, all. To be honest. All.
Were victims
They
or
victims.
were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized,
Yeah.
meaning this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3. Possibly 3.
2 to 3. Also on the flash drives, Courtney, was what looked to be a manuscript written by, it appears to be a woman who had taken Kim Porter's private journals and had written a book. Is that accurate?
We don't know. We don't know how. Yeah.
I don't know how, who wrote it, put it together, but it was from her when I spoke to her.
What you received on the flash drives, was it the completed book or was it notes from Kim Porter that later were made into a book?
It was completed. It's only 60, only about 54 pages.
Sure, and in the beginning it says, Kim made me promise that if something happened to her, I would make sure this book became public to the world. The way Sean moved, I knew that was a promise I would have to fulfill. Kim knew I was a woman of my word, and this book was going to make it to print. So it sounds like it is a woman who wrote the notes from Kim Porter. Does that sound accurate?
It's how you read it, yes. I haven't even read the book.
Do you know who the woman is?
No.
And to be clear, he received it in its complete form. So I think just to make sure we have some clarity here, the manuscript that Mr. Burgess received was already in its complete form. It's not that he edited it or changed anything.
Got it.
He did give it to someone
Makes
else
sense.
who then edited it, but that's not how he received it.
Okay, so Ariel, did your client, Courtney, receive the book from the woman who seems to have written it, saying, I'm a woman of my word, and this book is going to make it to print?
I don't know if he received it from a man or a woman. He can't answer.
I received it from a man. I tell you, somebody she was dating.
Do you know if the notes from the book really were from Kim Porter?
It was, yes, because I spoke to her probably like 6 hours before I got it, received it.
You spoke to Kim Porter?
Yes.
So Kim Porter.
Just saying hi. Just saying hi.
Okay, Ariel, go ahead and give me clarity on the timeline.
No, I'm trying to get him to provide clarity of, was there a conversation with
No,
her?
I was
or
talking to the person and he said, hold up, this is Courtney, be right here. Let me say something to him. He said, I know him, put me on speaker. Then that's how we end up speaking.
And then later, somebody brought somebody else came and brought you the manuscript.
Right. Before I left ATL.
To the best of your knowledge, Courtney, do you believe that it's really based on Kim Porter's diaries? Because there's a lot of dialogue in there. It is pages and pages of actual dialogue, which, I mean, I can't remember for breakfast today, let alone dialogue from 5, 10, 15, and 20 years ago.
I guess this is a woman's scar. You understand? Maybe, what she been through. It's, I'm not a woman, so I'm just going by how I got female friends and relatives. They always come to the house scoring because what went on in the relationship. And you can't, when you're scoring, you can't forget it.
Important to stop down here for a moment and note again that Sean Combs is accused. he has not been convicted of any crimes. So far, everything against him is an allegation until it is proven in a court of law and a jury either decides or he decides to sign a plea deal to any of these crimes. But at this point in the story, Sean Combs is not guilty of any crimes. He is currently under indictment. He is currently being held on bail. But if you're at all curious about how Courtney Burgess feels about Diddy today, I asked him about that too. And here's what he had to say. Your lawyer just said the story the tapes tell are the story of Diddy from the last several decades. And I know that you've known Diddy for a very long time. Can you describe what that story is based on what you now know to be true, the last several decades of Diddy's behavior and the reason he's now sitting in lockup?
I think I've been doing it for 35 years. I think we probably entered music business at the same time. He entered with Uptown, I entered into Big B, Atlantic. At the time, I guess he was ambitious. He was then from ambitious went to doing anything, and then from doing anything to didn't care about nobody, who he could be, and then he ended up turning into Lucifer. And today, I look at him. I know y'all call him Diddy or Puff. Y'all call him Lucifer.
This is the equivalent of 70 eggs, sitting right on your shelf for times when you need them most. That could be tomorrow or 25 years from now. That's right, our egg.
New allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, and these are some of the most horrific yet. A man says he was just 10 years old.
Hey True Crime Besties, welcome back to an all-new episode of Seriously. Hey everybody, welcome back to an all-new episode of Seriously with me, Annie, here to break down another true crime case for you today. And boy, oh boy, is today's case a wild one. Because in today's episode, we're discussing a case that may make you feel like you know exactly what will happen next, and at other times, feel like you are being completely gaslit. It is wild. So before we jump into it, guys, if you would take a quick second, just double check that you're following the podcast, hit that little check mark up top in whatever podcast app you are listening to this on. That way you will be notified of new episodes as they...
Let me take a quick smoke break with y'all as we get everything situated. 20 people in the building, only 30 likes, man. I hope everybody having a blessed day or night, whatever you want to call it. I hope you have it. Man. Time supposed to go back today? I think time go back today, or maybe Sunday. Excuse me, let me see. Yeah, November 3rd, 2 o'clock this morning. So that's an hour worth of sleep. That's an hour worth of sleep for some of y'all. An extra hour. Sunday. Rest in peace to Fredo, kill that lean. A day in the trenches with Booker, that's Halloween.
Power on. Bluetooth.
A day in the trenches, this Halloween. This bitch killed her husband, chopped him up, and sent him about his business. We gonna watch that, man. That look like it's interesting. When bitches snap. When bitches snap, man. What's the word? What's up, baby? He must been doing something wrong. Why that bitch just can't be crazy? 97% of females crazy. 97% of females is
Spoon like a
crazy.
Big Mac, spoon like a Big Mac. Spoon like a Big Mac, spoon like a Big Mac. Spoon like a Big Mac, spoon like a Big Mac.
Don't get going, pretty boy.
It's 3 a.m. and I'm thinking about your body. Your body is calling me, can't wait till we get it started. Baby, looking exotic, erotic, cause she got me horny. She blowing my mind, I think it's time to start the party. Now tell me if you like that, we could just book another room and we could practice safe sex. Go pack a latex, you can use my tongue as a rose and tell her where I ate that. Destroy like a Big Mac, I'ma beat the guts, can you take that? Beat it like I hate cats, tryna get an 8-pack. Make the pussy squirt with my shirt, in love with the back tack. You know I can't fake that, you know I can't fake that. You know I can't fake that, no I can't fake that. You know I can't fake that, you know I can't fake that. No I can't fake that, you know I can't fake that. You know I can't fake that, no I can't fake that. You know I can't fake that, you know I can't fake that. No I can't fake that. Trip, trip, nude, I love that middle. Pull your hair and bite those nipples, ass cheeks soft as pillows. Baby, you know I'm not little. I'ma beat the pussy long spokes, can you feel her? Sit on my face, better hold on. I'ma need the clit till you squirt on my pillow. I know you're losing your mind, shake, take it. Sensation hitting your spine, can't fake it. No rush to take your time, slow pace it. Let's try to see 9 trade places. Deep don't make you choke a little, hair get crazy, got this rhythm. I'm going crazy, grab my pistol, bitch you my lady, I'm go kiss 'em. I look amazing, don't you get up. I'ma be patient, turn your groove on. Turn up the pace, my pelvic too strong. Stop at a running, you come in the sweater. To keep it 100, I poured out a taster. I'm a little nasty, I'ma kiss you right after. Kissing with passion, I get in my driller. The neighbors just jealous, been beating walls too long. It's been about 2 hours and it's still going too dumb. Been screaming so much, girl, I built you a new love. I'm losing my patience, get ready to blast off. Girl, open your mouth and blow my way. I'm thinking about your body. Your body is calling me, can't wait till we get it started. Baby, looking exotic, erotic, cause she got me horny. She blowing my mind, I think it's time to start the party. Now tell me if you like that, we could just book another room and we could practice safe sex. Go pack a latex, you can use my tongue as a rose and tell her where I ate that. Destroy like a Big Mac, I'ma beat the guts, can you take that? Beat it like I hate cats, tryna get an 8-pack. Make the pussy squirt with my shirt, in love with the back tack. You know I can't fake that, you know I can't fake that. You know I can't fake that, no I can't fake that. You know I can't fake that, you know I can't fake that. No I can't fake that, you know I can't fake that. You know I can't fake that, no I can't fake that.
But I ain't got no fortune reading cards though. I got some regular cards. And somebody right now is watching. Right now they going through something. It's a female. Let me see what that is. 7. For the next 7 days, bitch, your heart gonna be broke. For the next 7 days, your heart gonna be broke. You just lost your ace. You caught your man cheating on you. So for the next 7 days, your heart gonna be broke, and you caught your diamond. I mean, you hear me? That's your heart. You lost that motherfucker. He been cheating on you with that one, man. This is the reason he was cheating right here. You broke his heart 8 times. You fucked 8 different niggas. 8 different niggas. So for the next 7 days, bitch, you gonna be hurt. You broke your heart and hurt your heart because you cheated on your ace. You hear me? But you broke his heart 8 times, bitch. You cheated on him with 8 different niggas. Let's see how this shit gonna play out. Oh shit. Oh shit, but that's your spade. He used to, goddamn it. He used to you doing that shit, man. He coming back. But not before he go and fuck 9 bitches. 9 bitches. 9 bitches. He went to go fuck 9 bitches. 10. Oh shit, 10. He had to make it even, bitch. He had to make it even. What's the next one? Goddamn it, a 2. This a 2. Y'all only gonna last for 2 days. It's only gonna last for 2 days. A Saturday and Sunday. Come Monday, shit gonna be right back fucked up. Shit gonna be right back fucked up. Uh-oh. He a fucking joker. He a joker. He a jack. But he a joker. You all fucked up, shorty. You all fucked up. What this is? Goddamn, bitch. Goddamn, bitch. 6 times. 6 hearts. That mean you been telling 6 niggas the same shit. You done broke 6 different niggas' hearts. You ain't shit, bitch. You deserve everything that you got coming. Everything that you got coming. Oh my God, bitch. Another 5. That's 11 motherfucking niggas you done fucked up in the head. Oh, I'm done. I don't even want to read your shit no more. It's over with, bitch. I don't want to read your shit no more, bitch. You got some fucked up shit going on, man. Fucked up shit going on, man. Y'all ain't know I knew how to do that shit, though. Did y'all? I know how to do everything. Everything. I know how to do it. Yeah, man. Nah, that shit just was randomly popping up like that, man. So off the top, I was thinking about it. Just imagine if he pulled a joker. We all do. Can I give you a read? I got you. I got you. Oh, for sure, man. It's all good. Death Row is the what? Somebody told me, come on, G, you know Death Row was all Bloods. I say, nigga, it was some Crips in there too, nigga. Fuck you think Daz and Corrupt, nigga, and Snoop. Nigga, fuck you talking about, nigga. Fuck you mean, nigga. What, like it wasn't no Crips in Death Row, nigga. They try to act like wasn't no Crips in Death Row. I'ma start back doing my readings in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes. On the real. Somebody really need to. Ooh, somebody need to be read. I can feel the energy. I feel the energy coming through the tablet, through the iPad. I feel it. I feel the energy. Ooh, strong energy. I gotta read somebody. You say only Bloods with Suge and his crew. That's what's up. Girl, we in the room with a latex. Bitch, we gonna practice safe sex. You know I can't fake that. You know I can't fake that. There's 18 people in the building, man. We live. We live, baby. We just did Durk, the first hour, right? We went over the first hour and in fucking 30 minutes. We went over Durk. We went over motherfucking Diddy. We looked at YNW Melly. We looked at Young Thug. Shit, I ain't going nowhere though. Y'all know normally I get off at the 2-hour mark, which would be in 16 minutes, but I ain't gonna get off. I'm gonna stay on, man. I'm up. I'm up for the night. This my off day. I already ran my errand. I'm back in the crib. Yeah, with my own style. Doing that shit with regular cards. Regular cards. So we in this motherfucker, depending on how it go, man. I like to goddamn it chill. Stay the fuck out the way, man. These my days. If I was in Chicago right now, I wouldn't have this attitude and this mind frame. So it was a necessary for me, a must, a necessity. You hear me? For me to move and expand my brain. Start thinking out the box. I'd have never grew up. I still would have been one of them niggas that's stuck on the block and thinking that they glorify selling rocks. And even though I ain't judging nobody, because I had to do this shit to survive too. But I didn't start elevating till I moved away from that shit and started doing something else with my time, constructive, like working a job. Being more home at the crib with my kids. I tried that. It didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with my child's mother. I tried though. But I get my kids. So, you know what I'm saying? I always felt like, man, I still do. I had fell back though going to the hood when my mans got killed. A couple of summers ago, my nigga Lil got killed, man. Big Lil. I'll just say he was the first D for the BDs on 59th. They killed folks on some accident shit. He got killed being somewhere in the wrong place. They started shooting and he was an innocent bystander and got hit. They was looking for another little nigga. I think he got killed too. I think the intended target got killed too. He was trying to run and they aiming for him, but they hit innocent motherfuckers. Rest in peace to him, man. So I really slowed down. Like when I come to Chicago, motherfucker used to pick me up from the airport. Take me to my Airbnb or my hotel. And then I goddamn it pop out for the night. And then the next day I get my own little car. And that's how I always used to do it until folks got killed. They killed my mans. He was BD. BD. All the BDs locked up right now. Not all of them, but except for Chief Keef. They all going through it right now. And times changing with this motherfucking music shit, man. Everybody getting record deals, but ain't no GDs getting no record deal. None of they ass. How many motherfuckers y'all done seen go to jail in the drill game? I really don't even like talking about the drill and covering drill. I really don't. Fuck that shit. Motherfucker be like, man, Hood, you supposed to be one of the Chicago top bloggers on Chicago shit. I never was one of them niggas that they got on the internet and made videos and told you this shit and that. I never did that shit. I always did my shit different. I did my shit different on everything. Motherfucker want you to think you gonna steal they blogging style or they whatever the fuck it is that they do. I don't do that shit. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? I do my own thing. That's what you doing right now. What am I doing right now? Tell me what I'm doing right now. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me what I'm doing right now. You can't tell me. I'm waiting on you, brother. I didn't say shit on the internet. And if I did say shit, I'm talking about what blocks warn with each other. That's what I'm referring to because I was talking about Chicago drill. So when I said I don't say shit on the internet, that means I don't talk about blocks killing each other and shit like that. Let me clarify that and break that down for you so you can have an understanding and won't be lost. That's all. You just needed a little help to get where you was going. Just a little slap in the back of the head. You feel me? That's what I said, bro. Not what you thought I said. So don't put words in my mouth. If you didn't quite hear or get an understanding, ask a question. Brother, you know what I'm saying? Follow the Lord Jesus Christ. Bless you, brother. Bless you. It's all love, my dude. It's all love. I ain't gonna be in here disputing and arguing with y'all and all this shit. What y'all want me to get on here and do? Y'all want me to do a backflip. Y'all want me to goddamn do a push-up on one hand. Y'all goddamn want me to pull a rabbit out the hat. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all want me to do all type of unnecessary, irrelevant ass shit. Shit that you can't even do. You want me to do it though. You know what I'm saying? And y'all get on here with demands. Play this. Or what happened with this? Diddy this, Diddy that. Y'all niggas crazy. Y'all niggas crazy. But I fuck with y'all some type of way. Some type of way I fuck with y'all. Cause what I ain't doing, I ain't blocking y'all. Only a couple of motherfuckers get blocked out the week. I'm real. It's still 11 people in here. We rocking and rolling, man. Normally I'd have been and got up off of here in 6 minutes. I'd have got up off of here, but right now, I'm just on here chilling, man. Ain't nobody else on YouTube. In these YouTube streets. In these YouTube streets. Is that what they call the the YouTube streets. This is a place where it's the most messiest niggas in the world, man. YouTube, some of the messiest shit in the world, man. Little chick I fuck with, she like, that shit messy as hell. Oh, like she told me that. She like, shit, that's like, that's shit bitches be doing. That's some messy ass shit, that shit. But she ain't never been on, you know what I'm saying, hip to the game, and I get to showing her and shit. Then I show her how Clubhouse is. She like Clubhouse 10 times worse than YouTube. Beefing with niggas. When it's beef, it's beef, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Chris Barnes. Just Chris 1, 2, 3. Y'all know I was beefing with him. I don't even call it a beef. I let him make his videos. I made my one video and left him alone. You know what I'm saying? But anytime I felt like I had to respond to him, I did. Trenches News, CSP, King Yellow. Who else? Who else I got into it with on YouTube? WMG Rags. There's probably some more motherfuckers I can't. Oh yeah, Kenny Rogers, Dro the Mob. I even got into it with a motherfucking a zesty a gay model. Nah, I mean got into it. I had words with WMG Rax when I beat him in the verses. He talking about drop the low, pull up, nigga. I drop my low, nigga. You all the way in Alabama, I'm somewhere else, nigga. I ain't taking that there with you, nigga. Leave that shit alone, man. You lost fair and square. But I end up giving him an interview. It's on my page. Nah, it ain't on my page. It's private. I put it private because I want my page to be about me. Me getting on here doing this shit. I got a couple of interviews on there. When I start doing that hood to hood shit, I'ma re-bring that motherfucker out. When people start checking these hood to hoods, I want to see how successful that shit gonna be. I know it's gonna do something, I just don't know what. And I'm trying to, goddamn it, you know what I'm saying, do it the right way. I'm trying to do that the right way. Slide on niggas, come do our motherfucking content, and get the fuck off. Shit, I never got it. You gotta ask him. I never got it. You gotta ask him. Lexi. I don't know, man. I gotta get it back to it, start doing all this other shit. Yeah, we did a song, but I never got the song. He got the song. I never got the song. After we did that motherfucker, I dropped my verse on there. He did the hook, and shit. He said he was gonna goddamn it get that motherfucker right and send it to me, so I guess he's still working on it. Guess he's still working on it. But other than that, bless you, bless me, hachu, 1, 2, 3, salute. Shit, y'all, that shit so damn strong.
Power off.
This shit right here help your motherfucking arm. I used to do this shit. Arm rolls. Shit. Man. That's exercise. Faces. I sure hate to be you, faces. Yeah, though, so man, with all that and everything else being said and done, we talked about the entertainment part. We did the blogging and all that shit. What I did see, I seen this loose cannon nigga, man. Him and Whack 100 got into it with King Yellow. The only thing with this loose cannon nigga is how the nigga be study saying sweetie pie and all this other stuff, man. You feel me? Like he seemed like a character. I'm on the outside looking in. I ain't got nothing to do with they shit. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to do with they shit. I'm just telling you my observations. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like him and King Yellow, the same person. If y'all get what I'm saying, I feel like him and King Yellow the same person. I feel like Whack 100 using dude as a flunk. He like Whack 100 flunky. The nigga loose cannon. That's the nigga that Brick Baby told him he'll put his finger in his butt. He was like, I'll put my finger in your butt, nigga. Blooka? He say, Pooka? Oh, everything. That was some of the zestiest shit in the world, nigga. That was some of the zestiest shit in the world, man. I don't know how y'all do in LA. I'm probably finna turn my hat to the back. I don't want y'all, I'm finna take this Death Row shirt out there. I don't want them to think I'm from LA. I look like a Crip right now. They probably think I'm getting down the same way. So in LA, they stick they fingers in your butt, and then Chicago they spit in your butt. So it's fucked up. I guess it's fucked up everywhere you go. You don't want to go to jail. Everywhere you go, it's probably fucked up. In jail. That's some crazy ass shit. What type of gang member, grown man gonna say that shit? And you ain't gonna wash your hands and you gonna leave the scene of the scene of the crime. Gonna be driving with that same hand. And you gonna stop and get something to eat and forget and dig in the bag and get some fries. On life, you got chili cheese Frito fries. On everything. And the only time you gonna remember is when you made it home. You gonna be done sucked all on your fingers and everything. Whole time though, you just forgot you stuck your fingers in dude ass, Brick Baby, and Loose Cannon. And y'all from the same hood and y'all playing with each other like that. They need to get a violation. Hey, them niggas need to get DPs. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Them niggas need to get DPs, man. Loose Cannon and Brick Baby need to get DPs, man. Indulging in homosexual activity. On everything. Known gang member indulging in homosexual activity. Them niggas need to get DPs, man. Horse playing. All that shit. Get them niggas some DPs, man. I got a picture with Brick Baby, man. I thought Brick Baby was a cool dude, man. I thought Brick Baby was a cool character. My motherfucking, me judging motherfuckers, that shit is fucked up. My choice of character is all fucked up. All fucked up.
Amen. Amen.
Don't y'all got a song? Yeah. Yeah. It's a song, but shit. Y'all be the judge, man. Y'all be the judge. So, I'm really sitting right here. Like, damn, what's going on? What's going on? It's fucked up everywhere, ain't it? A little bit of everywhere. All these niggas, man. That's some weird shit that they got going on. What's my favorite film of all time? My favorite hood of all time. Don't bad me, y'all. I'm at home. Nephew, nothing in here, man. We here, man. It is what it is, baby. It is what it is, baby. It's all love. A little half a pint had me right. It's fucked up, man. Evening. Good evening. Good morning. It's good morning right now. Good morning, shawty. What's that word? How you feeling, man? Good morning. What's the word? How you feeling? No answer. No answer for what? What was the question? I probably missed the question. Oh, my favorite hood movie. I don't know, man. It's so many, man. I like the Tales from the Hood because I like the certain parts from Tales from the Hood. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? Because I like it. I like certain parts from. I like certain parts from Tales from the Hood. I fuck with Tales from the Hood. I fuck with Menace to Society. I fuck with Boys in the Hood. In Too Deep. Y'all remember Higher Learning? Y'all remember Higher Learning? With a young Omar Epps. Yeah, Higher Learning was a decent ass movie, man. Lawrence Fishburne. Feel. Above the Rim was decent. That was decent too. But that wasn't what I go to. My go-to, I had movies like I'm Bout It. I used to watch I'm Bout It and shit. And he told that bitch, bitch, if you ever disrespect me, I'll take this motherfucking can, bitch, and crush your brains in, bitch. Come on, the old hype who had the white, he was a crackhead. He had a white fur and the white hair. And I'm Bout It. I was watching movies like that too. Little bootleg movies and shit. On the real. Yeah, I'm Bout It. Then that's when Silk the Shock and them came out with the Hot Boys and all that shit. And then Baller Blocking with Lil Wayne and them. You feel me? That was my era coming up. I think when Baller Blocking came out, I was in I think I was a sophomore. Folks them, goddamn it, was in that bitch. Folks them was in that bitch with bandanas on and shit. They wasn't wearing no Reeboks, they was wearing ones. Big ass pants. Yeah, belly too. Belly. Big ass pants, t-shirts, bandanas, thinking they motherfucker Lil Wayne, them the Hot Boys and shit. Folks had the braids, he had the Lil Wayne braids. On life. I got these niggas hollering, hell. Them Hot Boys coming for me, somebody help. 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 Got these bitch niggas hollering, help. 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 Please. Somebody help. Please. Somebody help. Please. Somebody help. On my mama. Then Choices, 3-6 Mafia. Project Pat hit hard too. He was like, I've been standing on this corner. There's rocks in my socks. That shit used to come on. Folks them had the cars. They was some of the first niggas to have cars in my clique and shit. Nigga riding, bumping that motherfucking Project Pat. Tupac was early though. On life. Yeah, that was a whole different vibe coming up. Favorite childhood snack that you can't find these days. Man, it's a certain it was a certain type of chip that I used to get, right? And I don't see that motherfucker in stores right now. It wasn't no name brand ass chip. It was like an off-brand ass chip. But that shit was fire. I want to say J's. I can't find them motherfuckers no more. There's a lot of shit you can't find no more. Niggas Swiss rolls. Niggas chips used to be 25 cents. You can get 4 bags of chips for 25 cents a piece at $1. Used to be able to get a can pop. We call these pops in Chicago. Y'all call them sodas. Used to be able to get one of these for 50 cents. This exact can for 50 cents. They had 25-cent cans of pop. Wildwoods. I'm telling you. Big ass bags of chips for 99 cents. 99-cent worth of chips in them motherfuckers. Everything. Zebra cakes. Swiss rolls. Nutty buddies. All this shit, nigga. Them bitches 50 cent. 25 cent, nigga. Zebra cupcakes used to be 25 cent. Nutty buddies was 50 cent. Swiss rolls. Nah, all them bitches was a quarter. 5 cent now laters, all that shit, nigga. All this shit now, nigga. Try to pay for this shit, nigga. I don't like 80s and the 90s. Some of the 2000s. Remember, it used to be candy stores down there in every neighborhood, everywhere you went. On life, J's, the J's, that bit, it's that bag green and silver. It's green and silver on everything. I remember that bag of chips. But J's had some chips that used to be so fat, boy. They hot. Chips used to be like they was fake stale, but them bitches was right on life. Hell yeah, nigga. I come up from shit like that, nigga. Being able to get a motherfucking Tony's pizza out the freezer in the gas station on life. $5. What I'm gonna do with $5? I'm gonna go to Pete's. I can get 3 chicken wings for $1.50, mild sauce, and a drink for $1.50. Bam. My chicken and my fries with mild sauce for $1.50. I don't even think it was $1.50. I want to say it was cheaper than that. But I give it $1.50. You feel me? That's how I manage my money out in them days. Then I'm able to get me 2 bags of chips, a Swiss roll, and another soda. That's the junk food after the meal. You feel me? And I still got money. Now I could do this same thing tomorrow. But I'm gonna save a couple of them that change from when I go to school in the morning. You feel me? Some Cool Ranch Doritos, 25 cent. Motherfucking Dr. Pepper, Pepsi. Take that bitch to school. School give you a lunch. You still bring your own shit though too. School lunches used to be bussin', pizza, fish sandwiches. Y'all can't tell me them fish patties ain't used to be fire. How many of y'all used to get fish patties? How many of y'all think the school lunches used to be bussin'? The pizza, the square pieces. Them bitches, the big square pieces that they used to have. That shit used to be fire. Hamburgers. Yeah, everything was $4 for $1. With the extra tartar sauce, nah, I ain't need all that tartar sauce. But that bitch come with a fish patty, a chicken patty, what? Oh, man. You don't eat at home either? Nigga, you don't eat at home, nigga. You eat this one time a day. Don't let you get no decent lunch. And then you got that little $1.50 so you can get you a motherfucking 3-piece. Shit, you in the dough, nigga. You in the dough. You full. Fuck is you talking about? You full, nigga. On everything, nigga. Nigga hustling up. $5, nigga, could last you 2 days. Could feed you for 2 days, nigga. $5 used to be able to feed you for 2 days. They used to have dollar double cheeseburgers at McDonald's. You feel me? $1 chicken sandwich. I'm talking about $1, motherfucker. Not $1.25, not $1.23. Nigga, for $1, nigga, go in that bitch with $1, nigga, they'll give you a double cheeseburger. Go in that bitch with $2. They give you a double cheeseburger and a fry on life. Go in that bitch with $3, you gonna get a double cheeseburger, a fry, and a pop, which y'all call soda. We call them pops in Chicago. This a motherfucking pop. I be saying this shit to my motherfucking lady. She be like, she ain't from Chicago, but she know what the fuck I'm talking about. She catch up on my lingo and all that shit. Cause I ain't that hard to deal with it. It ain't difficult. Yeah. I'm hungry again. What I'm finna do is, I'm gonna put this macaroni in the microwave. Eat some of that shit. Yeah. I think I got a burger from Wendy's. I don't think I got one. I know I got one. Yeah, I got some motherfucking Wendy's and I ain't even gotta heat the macaroni up. I can heat the macaroni up tomorrow. That's Sunday food. Now all I gotta do is put some meat with it. No homo. Probably some roast beef, some chicken, something to go with the macaroni and cheese that's already in there. And probably cook some biscuits with that motherfucker, and voila, I got Sunday dinner already. I can eat the Wendy's fast food tonight. Tomorrow, eat Sunday's dinner. I'll be decent. I ain't gotta spend no money. That sound like a plan? Sound like one of me shit. Show you right. Show you right. 14 people in the building, 39 likes. 15 people in the building, 39 likes. That don't sound right, man. 15 people in the building, we should have 50 likes. If it's 15 people in the building, we should have 50 likes. Nah, I ain't playing no song, man, cause you not finna do. If my page get a strike on it and I can't go live for a week, what you gonna explain to my subscribers and my supporters? The fans don't give a fuck, cause the fans are fake ass niggas. So what you gonna say to my subscribers and the people who support me? How could you explain me being gone for a whole week off of YouTube when I just grind it up to continue to build this shit and go and get these motherfucking views and keep getting monetized off these videos? I could show y'all every live that I done did for the last 2 months. Monetized. On life. I get super chats, cash apps, Zelles. That ain't nobody business. You feel me? I'm blessed. I work and a YouTube check, anything extra coming in, shit, is truly appreciated, nigga. I put in work. But one thing I'm not gonna do is be on here like, y'all got paid, y'all got jobs, send me some money. Y'all wanna hear me talk, send me some money. Nah, I ain't gonna do that to y'all, man. That ain't fair, man. It ain't fair, man. Y'all gonna, you feel what I'm saying? Not well, whatever anybody else doing, I ain't got nothing to do with that shit. I don't get down like that. You feel what I'm saying? I look at things different. I don't corner you and all that shit. Some people, this is they hustle, the gift of they gab and all that shit. So I can't knock them for doing that shit. All I'm saying is I don't get down like that. I don't get down like that. For sure, for sure. Shout out to Heather. Every time Heather come through this motherfucker, she's spinning a 10. She's spinning a 10 ball in here. Showing love, support. And that's how you get recognized. That's how you get mentioned. And that's how people start fucking with you. Just because you doing something and you got a platform don't mean that somebody gotta fuck with you. People fuck with the supporters and the subscribers more than they fuck with the other content creators, because the subscribers and the supporters are the ones who supporting what the fuck we doing and helping us grow and putting money in this shit. These niggas, oh man, nigga try to come fuck with you and act like they rock with you and have motherfuckers on your page. They'll have a motherfucker on their page come over and try to steal the motherfuckers that's fucking with you on your page. Like, especially if they see that you a loyal subscriber and you probably donate sometimes something that they looking for, so they will come and pretend just so they can goddamn it infiltrate. I'm telling you, this YouTube shit so cold and crazy, man. It's a cold game, man. Straight cold game. Niggas are play the role so hard for this shit. Niggas be trying to get information. They want to know this and that. Niggas don't be doing that and go pay a motherfucker from the hood. Niggas from the hood be telling them what the fuck is up too. Niggas from the hood be telling these niggas what's up, what's going on. Little bit of money and shit. I seen a motherfucker for $300. For $300, told about a shooting. For $300, a motherfucker told about a shooting on YouTube, on live. I was on the phone with a motherfucker, and he talking to him and shit. And they call him, they like, man, give me $300. And he like, $300 for what? And he like, man, I got some shit about a shooting that just went down and niggas finna be locked up and all this shit and niggas got snatched up and all that. He saying all this shit. So me and Fool, goddamn it, Fool, like, he like, man, I'm finna call you right back. They like, all right, man, hit me right back. Fool like, man, should I give him the money? I say, yeah, give him the money, shit. He gave him the $300. Dude told him the motherfucking story. First dude told him the story and told him everything that was going on. Then he sent him the money. And when he sent him the money, the nigga started telling more shit on life and started stopping after the story. He started telling more shit, going in the other shit. And all that shit started coming out on life. All that shit started coming out. Yeah, this shit crazy, y'all. Y'all looking at it like, you feel what I'm saying? Somebody was like, what if Trenches News got something to do with it? Nah, Trenches News ain't got nothing to do with this. But I have been around when a motherfucker done called him with a story involving. Shit crazy. So yeah, that's breaking news right there though. That's some shit y'all can talk about. Now that's content for y'all lads. On life, I was on the phone with bro one day. A motherfucker called and they like, shit, give me $300. I got a story about a shooting. A gang member. On everything. They called on some blog and shit. So they will call The blogs will call the blogs. They act like they don't fuck with the blogs, but they will call the blogs, man, for some motherfucking money, quick, fast. Y'all seen Big Wani. Big Wani ain't give a fuck. Nigga, Big Wani was getting paid. Big Wani was on Truth Teller every fucking day. He started getting on YouTube. He got on Trenches News shit, then he got locked up. After that, yeah, he got on Trenches News shit. He told his ass, man, I get paid for interviews. Fool told his ass, man, just talk a little bit. Tell me a little bit more. That shit was funny as hell. That shit was super funny. Yeah, despite the bullshit that went on, y'all, it was a lot of shit that happened on that channel that's memorable. You feel what I'm saying? That's memorable, for real, for real. Yeah, Lil CJ was born on that channel. There was a lot of funny moments on that channel and all that shit before the seriousness of the allegations of snitching and murder. Not snitching and murder, but yeah, it was murder with the FBG Duck trial. And niggas accused of murder. And by me, I'm not even, like I say, I'm not in the streets, y'all. I'm not in the fucking streets. But I still know motherfuckers that is in the streets. I got tricked on. You feel me? I got tricked on. I can't support that shit, y'all. And that's just my opinion. Somebody else might feel another type of way. When I went and I did that shit, I just said, man, I ain't fucking with them. I'm separating myself from them. Remember, I went on AK shit, I'm like, I'm separating myself from them. I ain't got nothing to do with no Trenches News and all that shit no more. Man, I'm separating myself from them. I did that, and I played smooth. But then when I went live, everybody coming on my live like, yeah, nigga, we told you his ass was snitching, whoop-de-woo, and all this shit, so now, and then they going from my live to his live saying shit, so now it's a beef. Then he come out, it was already a beef when he text my baby mama that shit. You feel me? I kept it player though. I ain't do none of that shit towards his kids, his girl. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit. I kept it really on his ass when I could have been dirty. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Him. And made up lies and shit, did all that shit. I ain't do that shit. So the shit be kind of funny. It's kind of funny now. But at the same time, I be like, man, I wish I'd have never indulged in that shit because it's a trail that's on the fucking internet. That shit ain't gonna go nowhere unless it's a blackout with the internet. The internet get wiped out. Ain't no more internet. That's the only way that shit'll go somewhere. No way. This shit could be gone any day. EPR, what's the name of that shit? EMP that they talking about. They gonna put over here a EMP and knock out our power grid. Do y'all think that y'all could survive a winter with no power in the current city that you live in? Answer that question, y'all. Yeah. Do y'all think y'all could survive one winter where y'all live at right now with no power? This mean all the cars ain't gonna be working, none of that shit. If an EMP come, it's gonna fry all that shit, y'all. for a radius of miles on life. You prepped. That's what's up. I ain't prepped. And I know it's 12 other months out of the 17. It's 13 of us that ain't prepared for this shit. What y'all gonna do? Don't that scare y'all when people that live on the East Coast and the West Coast, to hear them talking about that one day that the water and all that shit might take the coast under and all that shit? Like, you know, they be talking about earthquakes and tornadoes and all that shit hitting the Midwest, which is something that randomly, that basically never occurs. You know what I'm saying? What if that shit was to happen? Y'all don't think about none of that shit. Y'all don't remember that movie Escape from LA? I used to be a shorty watching that movie, Escape from LA. Kurt Russell was on he was the star actor in that movie Escape from LA. And it basically showed how that shit look on life. Yeah, man, 17 people in here. We probably gonna do motherfucking 20 more minutes. That'll be 3 hours. 3 hours on this motherfucking live. And then I'll be done with this in 20 minutes. I can go sit my ass down. Either I'ma lay down or I'ma eat this food first. I'm gonna eat this food first. I might cut on the movie and go to sleep from there. Or play the game. November 3rd. I wonder what channel this coming on. Trying to watch my nephew tomorrow he played tomorrow. Played for Illinois. His first game, he had 7 points, 7 rebounds. He could have had 10 points. He could have had a double-double. He only played 13 minutes in his first game, y'all. He played 13 minutes in his first game. He had 7 points and 7 rebounds and a block. He missed 4 free throws, so he could have had 11 points and 7 rebounds. But 7 points and 7 rebounds in 13 minutes, that's real good. He ain't starting, he coming off the bench. They got some motherfucker from Lithuania, Croatia. He's 7'1", shoot threes and shit. But he was getting his ass torched. I think I think he gonna be starting around the 7th, 8th game. They gonna start letting his ass start when they see nigga. In 9 games, this nigga got 6 double-doubles. On life, they gonna have to get to it. They can't fuck with him down there. He's 6'9", 250. The tall Lithuanian dude they got, he's 7'1", like 210 pounds. So you can, the muscle and all that shit you can see. Hell yeah. So he played 13 minutes. They letting dude play. His ass a bum, man. He a bum. They gotta let nephew start. They trying to do that he a freshman type shit. Oh, he a freshman, he don't need to play all the minutes. We got people here that's seniors and juniors and fuck all that, man. Let his ass play. On life. If he dude ass played 27 minutes, if my nephew would have played 27 minutes, nigga, that nigga would have had 20 points and 20 rebounds, nigga. No bullshit. Cause that team, I seen 3 motherfuckers hooping. My nephew, number 2, and White. All I know his name White. He was hooping. Number 2 was hooping, and my nephew. The point guards was getting the ball. They can't even bring the ball up the court. They got a team that's like built from Europeans and stuff like that. They got somebody from Lithuania. They got somebody from Croatia. They got somebody from Canada. And then they got a couple of motherfuckers just from scattered across from portal players and shit. Yeah. But nephew, I was mad as hell. The 20-minute quarters, he ain't get into the 7-minute mark. What the fuck? But when he got in the game, he started bringing, he changed the game, y'all. He was bringing their ass back. On life. That tall nigga, he couldn't even get no block. I see him get a dunk. But he ain't getting no blocks. Dude was shitting on his ass. He can't move his feet. Nephew can move his feet. That tall white boy can't move his feet. He just standing up straight. Not the tall white boy, but the tall Lithuanian. He was just standing up straight. Dude was hitting them threes on his ass. They lost. They got their ass whooped. They got their ass whooped. It's like 1 senior, 2 juniors, and the rest sophomores and freshmen on the team. Yeah. So they gonna be a young team, but they gonna be fun to watch. I just hope they get nephew some more playing time. He was mad as hell. And he be mad. He like, man, I be killing the center, the starting center in practice. This is why I tell y'all this shit based on politics and all that shit. All this shit based on politics, cause he said he be killing the motherfucker in practice. What? Don't go nowhere with it. Stay right here.
It's not this serious.
Damn, that light just popped on last summer.
It's not this serious.
What, this? Yes, it is. It's cold. If they let little homie get to going, it's over with. I love to see that shit though. You got a girlfriend. I ain't had the appreciation. Praise the Lord, you got a girlfriend. Now you ain't got to use your hand in jerkins. You ain't got to use your hand in jerkins now. Ow. 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 Welcome to Death Row, bitch. 16 people in the building. You can be anywhere, but you here with me. We got 15 more minutes in this bitch. 15 more minutes in this bitch. Tell me what you want to know. Pressure. Them boys under pressure. I know he a college boy, but I heard he a stepper. Pressure. Them boys under pressure. I know he a college boy, but I heard that boy a stepper. Pressure. Them boys under pressure. I know he a college boy, but that nigga a stepper. Life. You know who I first heard about rapping about steppers and shit and being steppers? Wasn't Memo 600. It was not Memo 600. It was Gucci Mane and Brick Squad. Frenchie, Walker, Woo. Y'all don't remember them? Y'all wasn't fucking with Gucci back then, huh? Y'all didn't even know Gucci Mane had Nicki Minaj before Nicki Minaj was Nicki Minaj. She was fucking with Gucci Mane, nigga. It's a lot of these niggas that's on right now, they came up fucking with Gucci Mane. Soulja Boy was fucking with Gucci Mane. Nigga, in Chicago, y'all probably don't think that. Y'all think, y'all know that Gucci and them was from Atlanta. But Gucci and them had a big role. They played a big role in Chicago music. With Jeezy, Gucci and all that shit. You had niggas that was choosing in Chicago. I fuck with Jeezy. I fuck with Gucci. Gucci got some trap music and he got some party music. He got music for the bitches. Jeezy got some gangster shit and Jeezy got some shit too. But I just used to fuck with Gucci. Gucci used to turn me on. Like, turn me the fuck up. I go hard, I go hard, I go hard, I go hard. Still playing, that nigga, you know, that nigga gonna turn you up. He got the music to turn you the fuck up, man. Turn you up. On the real. And then, that was around the time I was popping ecstasy pills. 2007, 2008. You feel what I'm saying? 2009. That's all Gucci Mane time. I'm off the ecstasy. The ecstasy, weed, and drink. In the neighborhood. Niggas wasn't getting killed. Bitches coming through the blocks, partying and shit, twerking. On life. Partying, twerking. That shit been happening. I remember some hoes pulled up on our block and started twerking. I was the first nigga to go over there and start fucking with them bitches. And by motherfucking 20 minutes later, about 20 minutes later, the whole block was filled up with everybody from the area. 59th and Calumet, our block. That bitch was lit. Motherfucker couldn't get out the street, cause we had the street blocked off. So they called the police, they made us leave that motherfucker. That bitch was lit. That's what a motherfucker need to do, throw a big ass you dig on 61st and fucking Calumet in the field. One last time, man. Like a peace movement in the field. 61st and fucking Calumet. Mutual ground for everybody. And it's a camera right there so the police can see right there. And just end that shit. Too many motherfuckers dying off this shit, man. What we gonna do? Fight or run? Seem to me that you'll take B. It's crazy. Nigga, you would too, if you knew what this game would do to you. Been this shit since 92. Look at all the bullshit I've been through. So-called beef with you know who. Come on, man. That's old Biggie. But that shit, that's how cold and how real, you know, music was, cause I could relate to that shit right now. Look at all the bullshit I've been through. So-called beef with you know who. Come on, man. It's true, y'all. I'm finna go in here and watch me a movie, man. No. Eat this motherfucking sandwich. Watch a movie. KO. 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 Man. You gone? Alright, man. I only got 6 minutes left. I'm just trying to run it to 3 hours straight. See what the fuck I can do, man. I don't want nothing too big, too small, man. I came, showed y'all these videos and talked about little shit with y'all. We chilled for a little while. I smoked a blunt with y'all. Shit, I drunk a little drink with you. What more you want me to do? For sure. On the real. So I appreciate everybody that rock and roll with me. All them likes and everything at the end of the week, that shit be adding up. I be done did 16 lives in 7 days. I be done did 16 lives. So that mean I'm doing 2 lives a day. And one of them days I might do a third live. I'm grinding. I'm grinding, y'all. You feel me? I want motherfucker to really get to know me and embrace my character. See how silly I really am. You feel what I'm saying? Like I crack jokes. I ain't all mean and all that shit like motherfucker be trying to say and all that shit, nigga. And then I be dead on with what the fuck I be talking about. I'm gonna give you my opinion, but I ain't gonna just keep on running you and telling you the same shit with the same shit. You gonna have to figure this shit out on your own sometimes. I give you the clues. What you do with the clue is on you. Y'all feel me? I don't know everything. I might call a motherfucker and ask a motherfucker, what you think about this? Cause you got to get a different motherfucker opinion. Yeah, you got to get a different motherfucker opinion in order to really, you feel what I'm saying? Cause I don't like to just pick sides, man. I don't like to pick sides. I'm pro Chicago. That means I want any and everybody from Chicago to win, except for the black Pee Wee Herman. Except for the black Pee Wee Herman. On everything. Google who the black Pee Wee Herman. For sure. You supposed to want to see your city succeed. The individuals that's succeeding, though, some of them individuals might not be the ones that need to succeed, though. Because they ain't doing nothing. Like, when they get put in a position, they not doing anything to advance their community or the people around them. At least show a motherfucker the way. That way you can say you tried. Niggas crashing out before they can even do any of that. Ain't no way PGF Nook supposed to be running around here sticking motherfuckers up. How many motherfuckers was running around here saying what up? Ain't no way. Ain't no way he was running around here, and then it probably wasn't even him robbing motherfuckers. He just riding around with this mask on every day, and they say he was the motherfucker that doing it. It's 50 motherfuckers with a mask on. He must have got caught. Like, broke than a motherfucker. How the fuck you running around here? Everybody was singing that shit and you ain't had no money. I bet your manager and everybody else was decent. They studied taking you to perform, let you shop at motherfucking 55th in the motherfucking mall. They let you shop in 55th, man. taking you on 55th. They in that motherfucker with Dior shoes on and everything. Robot views. I don't like motherfuckers get there and guys treat the bogus when they down. You say motherfuckers get on, then they guys treat the oh yeah, man. All type of shit, man. That's going on with this shit, man. It's all type of shit. So, but yeah, though, it ain't no way that nigga supposed to be, goddamn it. They should have gave Nook some money. That nigga in the feds right now. No Limit, Lil Wet in the feds. Rapping about killing motherfuckers, all that shit. Lil Reese locked up right now. Come on, man. Durk now locked up. O Block locked up. 600 locked up. FBG now. Everybody locked up. Who is the Black Pee Wee Herman? The Black Pee Wee Herman, man. He be shaving off all his facial hair. He shave off all his facial hair. Fucking weird ass. Y'all should know that nigga weird. Any nigga that don't got a mustache, little goatee, beard or something, man, you shaving all your shit off. What for? That's weird. FBG not locked up. It is FBG members that's locked up, fam. It is FBG members that's locked up, fam. See, that go to show you don't really know your fucking history. Yeah, they get it's some that's getting money. It's some that's getting money, but it's some of they ass locked up too. And you can't tell me shit about that, nigga. On everything. See, this the thing though. Y'all, nigga, that was my area right there. Yeah, man. So these niggas be having the opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Way back. Right. Some of them niggas that was actually checking the bag. St. Lawrence used to be a weed block, y'all. When Doughboy and them used to be out there. Rest in peace, Doughboy. He died of natural causes or some shit. Folks goddamn it smoked me out one day. I'm 15 years old. He like 22, 23. Folks blow a whole motherfucking zip with me. I'm 15. Life. Folks them used to be bogus. They used to be buying us, having us drinking with them and shit. But shit, we want to be grown. You feel what I'm saying? We want to be grown, so that's how that shit was. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Everybody that rock and roll with me, man. You probably fell out. Yeah, man. It shit be nuts out here. Every day. Bro, them study be asking me, man. Help me find a spot out there, hood. Help me find a spot out there. Off the ounce, man, I was fucked up. He stayed upstairs, I stayed downstairs. Nigga, I was so fucked up that I'm nodding off. He stayed talking about G. G. Man, wake your ass up. Wake your ass up. I'm on life, I'm leaning, nigga. I'm doing the Fat Joe. Lean back. Lean back. Now I see how them dope fiends be linked over and they don't fall. I was like that. I was like that with them on life. Young as hell. Who would have ever knew that I'd go to the penitentiary at that age when I was a shorty. Yeah, this was Reggie. I was 15 years old. This damn near 25 years ago. This damn near 25 years ago. On everything. On life. Fucked up. Off that zip. Hey, Beasky, you know motherfuckers used to get high off that zip. They used to have some good ass Reggie out here. It was some good ass Reggie out here, boy. I was fucked up on life. We wasn't smoking no dro. The next best thing was called dro. Before came this loud and all this shit, y'all. Dro. And then when I got out the joint in 2011, I was still trying to dump the Reggie, the 2 for 5s. They nigga, you ain't got no loud. You ain't got no loud. I mean, what the fuck is loud? The fuck is you talking about, nigga? They 2 of these bags, nigga, give me $5. They, man, you gotta get some loud, bro. I call around. Man, what the fuck they talk about? What loud? Some dro? Nah, they get some new shit called loud, folks. Whoop de whoop, motherfucker plug me. Motherfucker used to get a pound for 3,800 on everything, and then the more and more back in 2011, 12, 13, 14, that shit was goddamn it 3,800 a pound. You used to pay down there $250. So you could squeeze $300 out for a zip. $250 for a zip. Loud as kush on everything. So, hell yeah. I was jamming around that motherfucking time. I was running through that shit. I'm talking about running through a pound. I run through a QP in like 2 days in the trap. Hell yeah. Tomorrow night, nigga wanna talk about the games. That's if I pop on here tomorrow night. I might get on this motherfucker tomorrow night. It might be before the games. It might be before the games, though. Yeah, so. Yeah. Remember, Kush was 600. Shit. 600 what? You could make $600 off that shit. You used to be able to make $600 in dimes off Kush. You used to be able to make $600 off Kush and zip. It depends on how you bagged up way back then. Now, it's different. If pounds was 3,800 and that shit ain't 3,800 no more, you really could make a killing. Just imagine back then, nigga used to be strict on that $5 on life. When dudes started giving me that shit for the 32, and then look, right, I'ma keep it real with you. My mans was getting the treat for me. Dude probably only wanted like 27. Cause I know when I used to get pounds, dude, the main nigga used to only want $700 for a pound. The main nigga. The middle niggas used to try to go through
You told him to cut it?
yeah. The middle nigga used to go through the middle nigga used to tax a motherfucker for it. He did.
Who did? Let's see, Jay.
Yeah.
Knocked out right there.
Yeah, so they used to tax and shit. So he probably was taxing me that whole time. And then it went from 38 to 32. That shit went all the way down to like 27. $2,700 for a pound. 25. Bro, I think bro was probably taxing me the whole time too though. Now that I think about it, I wasn't tripping because that shit was coming back then. Now that I think about it and think about the nigga and all this shit and how he is, I know he was taxing me. He probably was getting them bitches for about 2 and making an extra 18 off my goofy ass. I probably was helping him get one. You feel what I'm saying? On everything. Now that I look at it. Yeah, I know pounds less than 2K now. But back then, that shit was different. 2011, all that shit, that nigga, goddamn it, was getting over on the nigga, man. Now that I think about it, he an old petty ass nigga. That nigga petty, man. On life, I'm gonna see now I got something to say to him next time I talk to him on the phone. Like, bro, I know, I'm like, bro, fool told me that he was giving you that shit for 2. And you had me paying 38, you was taxing me 1,800, G. You gotta send me a band, G. Send me a band, G. He told me as he was letting you get that shit for 2. $50 a tray, 5. I'm sure I'm gonna wait till I call that nigga. I'm gonna call that nigga as soon as I see him post some shit about winning a bet, winning one of them bets, cause he be gambling doing that bet shit, and he post that shit. So yeah, as soon as he gonna think I'm calling him on some other shit, and I'm really calling him on some nigga. Run that. I need a G. Send me a G. He gonna be like, man, that pussy ass nigga gonna tell you that nigga a bitch. He gonna tell on himself. Like, man, that nigga a bitch. That shit old, G. That shit old, G, but that nigga a bitch, G. Why he gonna tell you that? He gonna say all that shit. He gonna say all that shit. And that's telling on himself. Yeah, he gonna tell on himself. And then I'm gonna be like, yeah, nigga, you just told on yourself right now. That nigga ain't said shit. Like, come on, G, you petty as hell. It's 20 years later. Oh, my mama is 20 years later. 20 years later, out here, used to be able to be in this shit. I wouldn't dare do this shit now. What would I take back from what I've been doing? What would I take back? Getting in the game. I think that was one of the stupidest decisions I ever made. Yeah, he middleman me like a motherfucker for a nice little minute. He was getting them bitches. I know he was getting them bitches for about $2, and taxing me $1,800. I'm paying $3,800 for a pound. 2011. I'm thinking I'm doing it too. You know, you ain't tripping when you goddamn it going out of town to Iowa and you doing all that shit, nigga. You going crazy. But the whole time, he started going down when I started complaining and shit. He went all the way down to 27. He still was taxing me $700. I just know that shit. Cause I done did motherfuckers like that. Niggas coming in from Wisconsin. This folks and them people. I know he want 2 pounds. Bam. He got 22. And he gonna come back. He gonna come back with goddamn it like 4. You feel me? 25, 26, 12, 12.50 a pound. But I'm getting them bitches $600-700. I done taxed him. You feel what I'm saying? He paying for that shit. On everything. So I know a motherfucker will do it. If I do it, another motherfucker will do it. And shit, he ain't had no connect. On life, when I got out the joint, boy, I was jamming on the tree. Jamming on the tree, y'all. On life, on parole, taking risks, going out of town. 63s, going crazy. Coming back up there. Everybody hop in the whip with me. Let's go. We finna go out tonight. I was doing stupid shit. I'm going to spend all this money jagging and shit, nigga. And then I realized, nigga, this shit ain't gonna last forever. And I started stacking the motherfucking money up. And when I started stacking the money up, the trap got raided. On my mama, the trap get raided. Niggas get locked up. FBI. The feds, nigga. Niggas went to the feds off that shit, nigga. Niggas went to the feds off that shit, nigga. On life. 600 breezy now. On life. He was getting down on me. He was getting down on me for that 18, Beastie. For a long time. I know he used to be like, man, this nigga just don't know. This nigga just don't know. On life. I used to get that shit and go. My nigga KD, well, I can't even say he my nigga. The nigga KD, I used to get the weed, he'll pull up and drive that shit out of town. He driving with his family and shit. His kids, girls, all wrapped up, everything in the trunk. You know what I'm saying? He got a nice little Lincoln Town car. Ain't gonna get pulled over by the police. That's how I was thinking. The reason he was so eager to ride with everything was the whole time he was the police. Y'all hear me, y'all? Y'all don't hear me, man. Y'all ain't hearing me, man. Y'all ain't hearing what the fuck I'm saying, nigga. This nigga supposed to been one of the guys. This nigga supposed to been one of the guys, nigga. And he used to be riding with that shit, nigga. Getting this shit firsthand from me, passing it straight to him. He taking it out there. When I get out there to where we was at in Iowa, you know what I'm saying, Iowa cornfields, you know what I'm saying, I come get what the fuck was needed, already be put together, everything. And shit, the whole time, this nigga was the police, nigga. But he was a nigga from Chicago. He had got caught with some shit. He started working. He was out there setting niggas up on the other side of the town. And we ain't know, because he was living out there. We wasn't living out there. You feel what I'm saying? He was living out there. We wasn't living out there. He had us come out there. We go out there. My man's Tino went to the feds. Tino did like damn near 5 years in the feds off that shit. Probably more than that. 600 Breezy. That was the case he kept on getting locked up for. Low them, they was saying folks them was the police. It was a lot of niggas, man. I ain't get locked up. They raided the trap. Nigga, I wasn't in no trap, nigga. Hell no. I wasn't in no trap. Nigga, I had bitches with cribs and shit out there in Iowa. And shit, I came to the motherfucking and seen that bitch was hit. Shit, I hit my little homie up. Where you at? He, man, I'm with Shorty, alright? We finna come scoop you, man. We going to Chicago. He, what's going on? I gotta go to, man, we ain't going back there. We ain't going back there. Say less. Got the fuck up out of there. My little homie Huncho Hoodo, that's what he went to the feds for. That's what he went to the feds for. Yeah, that's why working a job ain't bad, y'all. That's why working a job ain't bad. I could have went to No Jump and told that story and blew up. Like, damn, this nigga knew about all this shit, cause nigga, all that shit, everybody off parole and everything right now. I knew what the fuck was going on with that shit on life. I got different stories to tell and all that shit. I just don't do it. Y'all ain't know. Now y'all know, goddamn it, on life. So y'all, yeah, I don't be with all that sticking and standing around, man. I need to move around. I'm gonna go to Walmart. I bump something that work in Walmart. I take her out. Go to IHOP on everything. I tell the bitch to take me to a club. Take me to y'all clubs that be busting. You know what I'm saying? What you be doing? She take me to a club and shit, showing me the city and shit, introducing me to people on everything. And shit, now I'm chilling at her crib, off the phone. That's how you supposed to get it. You ain't supposed to been in that motherfucking trap, man. On life, all that out of like 20-something motherfuckers, probably like 16 went to jail. Maybe 16 went to jail. And then one time I was on 61st and King Drive, and I was posted with folks them, and I'm leaning on my car, and one of the niggas from out there walk up. On my mama, I swear to God, y'all, the nigga walked up, bro. The nigga walked up, he like, what's up, Christopher? What the fuck? This nigga called me Christopher? How the fuck you know my name, Christopher, nigga? On everything, that's what the nigga said. Folks and them started laughing. They been, that nigga weird as hell, nigga. That nigga tried to set you up. They started laughing like a motherfucker. On everything. Folks and them started laughing. Oh, man, I ain't on shit, man. I'm working, going to school, you know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. He just standing there. Damn, this nigga, the motherfucking police. How the fuck you get out of jail, nigga? That's what I need to ask folks now. How the fuck dude get out of jail? He had got out of jail and everybody else was in the raid, right? Yeah, that mean he was working. That nigga was working, man. They let his ass come all the way back to Chicago. Shit, he ain't set me up, goddamn it. He set they ass up. Them niggas went to jail. I ain't go to jail. Shark on Land ain't go to jail. Yeah, we made made it through that shit, though. We wasn't on shit, man. We wasn't on that stupid ass shit out there, man. Them niggas was on some stupid shit. I can't even say stupid, though. It was stupid, because niggas in the trap, they running to go get. Stay loud as hell. They in and out that bitch. You supposed to been in that bitch low key. You supposed to been in that bitch low key. Supposed to been in that bitch low key, man. Them niggas was running in and out that bitch. When I was there, I was getting food delivered to where the fuck I was at, nigga. On life. And I stopped, goddamn it, being in that motherfucker. I had to go to Walmart. I went to Walmart, bought me some drawers and shit. I'm like, man, I ain't finna keep on being in this trap, man. I gotta find me a little bitch or something, man. And shit, it was a bitch in there working. I sized her up. Like, how old was I? 25, 26. I might have been like 26, 27. 25, 26. Yeah, about 25, 26. I sized the bitch up. She 37. She got one shoulder. Yeah. Woo, woo, woo. Man, I let her know, man, I don't live out here. Whoop-de-woo. What you doing out here, man? I'm out here visiting, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be out here for a little while. I'm trying to get in tune while I'm out here, though. She, for real, what you do? You smoke? She was bringing some huff-ass weeds. That bitch had something the best huff money could buy. The best huff money could buy on life. And then she started, we locked in. And then I started fucking with the bitch she was buying the huff from. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm fucking with both of them. Rotating. One night I'm with this one, other night I'm with that one. This one I was single too. No, I wasn't single. I think I had a bitch at the crib. I think I had a bitch back in Chicago. Or was it before she was my bitch? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't remember, man. That's too far back when they get to going with the relationship, man. Even if I do remember, I don't remember. Because she could be watching. Like, nigga, I seen what you said, nigga. You a dirty ass nigga. And I knew you wasn't shit. Nah, don't do me like that, man. That's how they be. I knew you wasn't shit. Mm-hmm. Damn. It hit different. It hit different, man. Yeah, man. I've been on here for a minute, man. I'm finna get the fuck off. I'll catch y'all in a minute, man. Keep your eyes open. Trust none, man. Keep your eyes open and trust none, man. I'm finna get the fuck up off him. I'm a little tired. Not tired, but I'm finna go watch a movie and some shit, man. Enjoy myself. Y'all be cool.